Trying to olive branch.
Easy though, bruv. Good to see you here.
Bro. You're right.
Welcome to the first team.
Appreciate it.
Debut. Why did he try to get onto me when I was first on the show? Easy, bruv.
It's okay to be nervous. I'm nervous too. I ain't been there in a while. Crowd, I just heard that only 64% of you are
Waited for you
subscribed.
to start hosting, to start eating. It's crazy.
No, what are you doing?
It's
Honestly,
mental.
though.
I'm sorry.
You know what? Best thing, just put it underneath the
Nah,
table.
you're getting comfortable, man. We know we
put it
don't eat
underneath the
here.
table.
You know we
I'm
don't eat
supposed
here.
to eat this under the table, bro.
No, you're not meant to eat. That's the thing. That's why it goes underneath the table.
Youth team player, bro. It's coming up. That's crazy,
It's
bro.
cold anyway,
I'm
it's
sorry, I
cold.
was that
It's
guy
a
in the dressing
salad,
room.
of course it's cold.
So that means you're not going to get angry when it's cold later.
Put the spoon under as well, please.
He's not feeling well, man.
Crowd, only 64% you are subscribed that are watching. That's not right. I mean, in fact, no, that is right. Thank you for subscribing. Don't laugh. I'm nervous.
You remember when you said you were going to freestyle it before we started?
Well, that leaves 36% that are watching that are not subscribed, and I think we should make that right. I can't say subscribed. It's hard, man.
Like Jordy said so eloquently, 64% of you watching are subscribed every week, but unfortunately for us, 36% of you have decided to not subscribe. All you have to do, literally, is just press the button. Subscribe, my people, and then you'll know what's happening every single week.
Do you think you're better than me or something?
I don't. I believe you are much better than me, but I believe sometimes in life we need help, Jordy, and that's where I come.
Yeah, I didn't ask for help.
He needs help right now. What's he trying to do?
What are you doing, my guy?
He tried to sneak.
Just let me have a bite, though.
Hey, what guys is that? What is that you're pouring on?
Let me some sauce.
Because that sauce, you can't sneak it.
Bro, just let me have a bite. And then I'm with you, please.
Why is he talking like this? Just let me have a bite.
Carry on.
Like, man, like you didn't only just eat your salad, you're doing salad dressing. You're dressing it
You
up,
guys
man.
don't eat healthy. That's your thing, bro.
That don't look healthy.
Bro, what do you mean it don't look healthy? There's broccoli, there's sweet potato, there's always...
That looks like that looks like dog sick.
How can the food give you a cold? What's going on?
I've clocked what's happening, Steve-O.
There's chickpeas.
Filthy's gentrified.
Mate, it is. It has, of course it has. Look.
Filthy's become gentrified. We got ads. We got salad dressing.
Salad dressing. That is a lot of salad dressing, bro. That better be healthy.
It's overdressed.
And he wore a suit to the pub.
I asked the question the other day. Is it?
I know his
yeah.
answer.
I think I'm underdressed everywhere today.
What? You wear loafers everywhere?
But then I'll wear them with shorts or something like that.
No,
so
I
it kind of...
I don't cancel it out. Bro, it's loafers divisions. Come on, man.
Loafers divisions never happen, bro. What is going on? Today I'm wearing trainers, so look. Underdressed, fam. Underdressed, fam.
Your leg took 4 minutes to get to the table. This episode of Filthy is sponsored by NordVPN. NordVPN keeps you safe online, at home, abroad with just one click, Steve-O. Wow. You've been using it.
I've been using it.
Yeah?
Bare.
If you're traveling this week and don't know how you'll watch the football on your devices, NordVPN can help. Did you know that, Ellis?
I didn't know that. Thank you very much.
You know that now, man. That's what I'm here for. Change your virtual location to avoid being geo-blocked, poet. What do you think of that?
I just found out what geo-block meant last week, so...
It can even save you money on flights and hotels, Caleb.
Yeah, I love it.
Ah, man. Poet, tell us the website.
All right, it's nordvpn.com/ or is it / Filthy Fellas gets you 4 extra months on this 2-year plan with a 30-day money-back guarantee.
Guarantee.
NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.
There's only one place to start. Best game of the weekend by far, apart from Bayer Leverkusen, was pretty good.
Brighton, Nottingham Forest.
Talk to me.
Class game.
Good game.
Class game.
Good game.
Did you lot know that Danny Welbeck can whip free kicks?
World Welbs.
It's a late time to add it.
I did it late.
It's never too late.
Is he top 10 for you in the league? Strikers.
Probably now. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah. On just as ability.
Can we name
scored?
Wait, can we name 10 strikers that?
Haaland, Isak, Defo, my top 2.
Then Watkins.
If you want to take one of the United boys, you
Durant.
can.
No, what's his name?
You
Durant?
don't need to be rude. You don't need to be rude.
No, but I'm United as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool. I was just saying.
Xerxes or Højlund, take your pick, and then you got Duran maybe.
Wata.
Hey.
Yeah, but
Do you
he's
know
good.
what?
But
If he's top 10 at a time where strikers are not really prominent, then it's not. Is it
No,
even
but
worth a
it's just
conversation?
it's your top 10. It's just like your world class. Like it's not prominent. World class. It's the tag that it had in my day with the players that we had. I see you do it on your show, naming them.
Yeah.
It's
mad.
But in this day and age, world class is world class. So our top 10 are our top 10.
I hear you.
And that's crazy because definitely I would have Welbeck. Ability, I know he's got age and all the rest of it is not on his side, but I'd have him over, say, Xerxes.
Bro, he almost got a goal of the season in that game. I saw him run past like 3-4 guys in small spaces. I said, what's going on here?
Has he got more potential than a Xerxes? Hell no.
I got an idea. Dragon's Den moment, yeah?
Go on.
In my day, you say that every episode.
Nah, my
A
230, dude.
podcast.
Are you joking me? I've just started it on
Where's the
Thursday.
cord?
He's lying. He's joking,
Oh
innit?
my
So you stole my idea.
No, but I did tell everyone. I put
You
it
told
in the
me?
group. Yeah.
What group?
The filthy group. And
So,
said,
but there's 2.
Oh, is there?
oh.
Oh my God! Who saw Gibbs White's red card?
Yeah.
didn't. Was that red?
No. Who got sent off as well? Nuno.
Both, man.
Both of them got
innit?
sent off.
Yeah.
Do you not think it was a red though? The transition and the challenge was crazy. Man came flying in. I loved it.
I like the challenge. If that's red, the game's gone.
The game is gone.
Yeah, the game is gone.
But Nottingham Forest look good this season. Unbeaten.
But you know what it is? I look at them, a bit naive still, some of the players. Like even Elanga and them, man. 'Cause I know Elanga how good he is and now, but they're still a bit naive. And I just worry with the manager. It still might not be enough, but they play good football. But so did Brighton.
Yeah, but Brighton could have lost, where?
Everyone's hard. But it's-
Yeah, they're all sick,
it's
to be
tough.
honest with you.
What's going on with Hudson-Odoi? He won a penalty, scored in the game before that. I feel like.
He's definitely turning the tide.
Do you think that his issue at Chelsea was that he wasn't getting enough game time, or he was enjoying the London life too much, and now he's gone there and he's?
I think everyone's issue at Chelsea is not getting enough game time. You've got too many people there, bro.
That's just a dead take though, because if you see how many players played last season, they
Hey, do
were
you know what? You might as well carry on about the Chelsea and West Ham game then, off the back of that game. To be honest with you, Steve, I'll let you lead here because you was really confident with your side, and I'm happy that you even wore the tracksuit top. It shows that you're committed to the
This
cause.
is the away kit.
Is that the away kit? All right. So what happened at
I thought it was a pajama.
Chelsea 3, you guys 0. Is it a bad performance from you guys or a great performance from Chelsea?
You lot are not going to like this because you're haters.
Okay.
But Chelsea are cooking.
Fuck, dude.
In that
How the hell did I
midfield,
miss that?
diamonds, triangles, hexagons after 36 minutes. It was bad.
Rodriguez, good week.
Rodriguez.
Was he injured?
Oh yeah, no,
No,
he just
injured.
got subbed.
Oh, he just got
It was
subbed.
bad. It was bad.
Oh.
And it did help a little bit, but then didn't help much.
Are you guys kind of just a little bit?
Yeah, they got a good team.
Nah. If we're that, we still opened you up and we still had loads of chances that would make you extra. I don't think it was that. But we're not. I don't think
you are
there's. No,
Chelsea looked very good
because you are very good.
Whoa, guys, calm down.
Huh? Say that?
Oh, the West Ham, the 2 Jackson goals was really bad defending.
Terrible.
Like
Really good counter. Bro, the little triangle, bang,
No,
bang,
no,
bang,
it
and
wasn't
then
a
through.
triangle. Caicedo kicked the ball in a straight line. Jackson ran in a straight line and kicked
Nah,
the
not
ball
that one.
in a
Nah, not
straight
that
line.
one. Not that one. The second one. The second one.
All right, sorry, hold on. It sounds like you're saying West Ham and Chelsea are good. It sounds like you're saying West Ham and so are Chelsea not good?
I don't think Chelsea are amazing yet. We're on the up. But if you see the progress, it's a similar thing as like Arsenal when Arteta first went there. They wasn't scoring that much, but you could
Facts.
see how they was trying to play.
Cross. Yeah,
Chelsea's trying to play a certain way, which is, yes, more counter-attacking against teams that play high. You can only beat what's in front of you. I don't think that West Ham defended well.
Dan said last week that Chelsea can win the league. What's your mindset towards Chelsea this season?
They're a point behind Arsenal.
I'm actually not sure how I feel about Dan at this point. Because he says some outrageous things. And this is why I get so much hate. Because
People think you're the same person.
No, not the same.
Oh.
No, I don't think that we can win the league yet. I do think that we're going in the right direction. And I do think that we played good spells. Was Chelsea amazing? No. Was West Ham's defence really bad? Yes. We could have conceded goals because we let you get in those positions, but you were because you couldn't finish them. That's what I'm saying.
Is Jackson good? Should we change the narrative? On Twitter, they like to have, or X, they like to have narratives that they stick with. Is Jackson a good player or is he just a bit
He's
of a
en route to being a good player.
Yeah.
He's still very young. People forget that. I think he's 23.
Yeah.
He's not though, is it?
Huh?
He's not though, is he?
Well, how old is he?
No, but like, yeah.
I'm not a snitch.
He's got one of them
But
passports.
I personally, I think he could end up being like as important to Chelsea as how Drogba was.
What?
What? Sit back. So just in case people at home are unaware of who he is, sit back.
And you hate Dan.
You hate Dan, but you reckon Jackson is going to be better than this man.
That's
I
what
never said
that's what was
better.
hard,
I
though.
said he could be as important as winning stuff, scoring goals in big moments. He took his chances. If that was against another team, I hope he can continue taking his chances and help us win things, which would make him as important, not a better player.
Steve-O, is your worst signing your gaffer?
La roja.
Yeah, 100%.
He's terrible, man. I said
The
he's
fuck
going
is
to
the
be the first to
red?
get sacked.
You think
Bro,
so?
bro, you know,
What is that?
where was he? He was going to go to AC Milan in the summer. They rioted.
Can I just ask you something? Who would you want that's actually a possibility to get instead
Nunca el
of
balón,
Gary
bro.
O'Neill.
How the freak
Class.
did I get a red? That dude don't
Do you know what? Gary O'Neill replaced Lopetegui at Wolves, by the way.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Well, Wolves have started poor. 1 point in.
Yeah, but
out
they
of
got-
five.
they got-
I watched
raided.
them the other day. They look good.
They got raided. Oh my god. KG.
Those G's.
No, you're just too big to have. You're just too big to have a backpack. Like.
Hey, that's what he said to me. He looked exactly like me last week.
Bro, back to school fit, you know.
I think that it's interesting that you actually know what manager you'd have in, because people always want to change manager without having another. This manager's, but then they don't have an idea. of who
This
they wanna
is
be.
what got us in this. This is what got us in this mess.
So there's two buttons in front of you, stick or twist, basically, and you'd press the twist button. Like Lopetegui goes.
Twist. Fold.
Fold.
What button's that?
No, fold the manager. Gone.
I gave him 2 words.
Stick with twist.
chose
and
a
he folded.
Stick or twist. Fold.
So wait, if West Ham keep this gaffer in charge, what does the rest of their season look like, Steve?
Hard.
Listen, Somerville, who was playing well,
Love him.
got taken off. So he grows. Kudus grows. What's the question?
No, we're listening to you,
What
man.
does the season look like if he stays in charge?
Tell us all the guys that grow.
Stays in charge.
Yes,
I thought he said if he went. I thought he said if he went.
Well, then answer the question.
If he stays in charge, like
Relegation thing.
Wait, I swear someone came out and said that like the dressing room's in a terrible place right now.
yeah,
One of
they're
the
not happy. They're not like Folberg.
Where are you getting all this inside scoops? Where did you find this guy?
Who are you?
Information.
Who are you?
No, we need
Twitter,
that, though.
man.
We need that.
Yeah, need a bit of balance.
We need that.
Yeah.
Because none of us have info. Let's have it right.
Yeah, no.
None of us have
I
info.
just dropped a sick one on you there, but you weren't listening.
Oh, drop it again, man.
Nope.
Okay, just one time.
You heard it.
I did.
Exactly.
We'll say it then.
What is that?
You weren't listening. They reacted to it and everything. That's how you know.
Man City versus Arsenal.
So last week we were talking.
What happened?
And we said, we're here. That's
Oh.
what I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about West Ham.
Finally.
I don't mind if you talk about West Ham for a bit
But
longer.
what you do, I tried to pick up your team. You play them down. Yeah, they're crap now. I think
You don't want to talk about United? No? Okay, carry on.
What the do you want to talk about United for? Actually, you know what? If we talk about United, I'm going to say something rude. So let's get to City Arsenal now. Yeah.
we spoke on the last show,
We did.
and I asked the question:
What did you ask?
is your discipline, which you lot are all celebrating, Kimber, all of this, all of that, will it get you in trouble? Will it come to bite you on the arse? Well, yeah, no, I love it. We love it. Yeah, you know, even Dan, Chelsea fan, you know, I love that. It's egging you lot on, and yeah, we're tough. Yeah, man, we even injured our own player in training, Lippy said. Remember? Yeah.
What did I say?
We're bad, man. We're bad,
What
man.
did I say, Steve-O?
Next week comes, we'll get it. Next week comes and your stupid player kicks the ball away again. And now you lot are on Twitter talking about, you see Duku. He weren't there last week.
I'm with you. It's immature.
He's not there the week before. He's
No.
not grabbing guys like... Now let me ask you.
Oh, you look.
Bruv.
Wait, that was 2 questions.
I know.
I'm mad.
What are you doing? What the do we up? All the way up to the end drop and you missed the words. That's crazy.
I don't think anyone heard it, so go
That's a
again.
monologue. Worked on that all night. Forgot what the 2 words were. Oh, aha.
God, that was it.
So I'll ask you again.
God.
Will this... I didn't answer it like this, but...
Yeah, you didn't say that.
You said 2 words.
Guy's a liar, you know.
That's it, man. With that big butt. You got to stop butting in with that big butt. Is this going to you for the season? Is this going to mess you for the season?
Honestly, if the ACL
What?
is an ACL from Rodri, we're going to win the league.
Always about other... Like, I'm asking you about your discipline. Will it mess you up?
Ow.
No, because how can you avoid that question to about Rodri's ACL?
Because he's an Arsenal fan.
Come on, man, please.
I understand these narratives that you set are good for comments, but I would like some time to just answer the question.
Gaslight.
God bless you.
Yeah.
You can gang up on me. It's all right. No problem.
This is crazy. Gang up, you know?
Mad gaslight.
Gaslight.
It's crazy.
I can't believe it.
So, as I said last week, because I agreed with you, I said to you, I don't like our discipline. I think in certain games, that is going to piss me off. And that game, it pissed me off. And I saw all the fans talking nonsense. And this is the reason why I think they're talking nonsense. Man like Trossard gives away the ball right before the halftime whistle was blown. And we've been there, Steve-O. I've played Sunday League. When you give away the ball, you've got to run back.
60,000.
And you've got to try and get the ball back. And he was over-enthusiastic. He then fouls the person in the back and then kicks away the ball and then complains. I didn't understand him. I don't understand the Arsenal fans. I don't understand anybody who believes that something that is consistently a thorn in your side, you should keep doing it. Why is your ego telling you to keep... Just stop. We want to win the league.
Do you think it's
We
going
want
to
to
change?
win the league. Huh?
Do you think it's going to change after this game? Because is that not 2 games in a row? 2 Premier League games in a row.
Do you know what the reason? Do you know when it's going to change?
4 points dropped because of that.
Yeah, man.
When we don't do it in one game, we don't get someone sent off and they see the effects of it. Like when there was an opportunity to do it and we don't do it and then they see how the game goes. Because all they ever do is do what Steve-O said. Doku. Like what's Doku got to do with anything? So I don't really like the way Arsenal are moving when it comes to discipline. Outside of that, with Rodri being injured, I mean that in the greatest respects. When Roy Keane got injured in 97, 98, that's the reasons why we won the league. I know it, because the next season he came back, Man United done the treble. So just, if Rodri's gone, I believe we can win the
Do you
league.
think that the discipline issue starts with Arteta doing the most? Like every time I see someone talking about, bro bought a dog for the team, he got a pickpocket, like everything is just too much.
Oh my God, the pickpocket. I forgot about the pickpocket, man.
That was terrible. That was terrible.
He hasn't
That
helped.
makes
He hasn't helped at all.
But do you think that the discipline issue is his fault?
In this situation, yes, because the whole setup is to waste time. They do everything to waste time. So if your whole setup is to waste time, why would you then kick the ball away in front of the referee? Like it's just so nonsensical.
Okay, so between Rice and Trossard, do you think you've been hard done by or immature?
It's immature. It's immaturity. And they'll understand later on down the season why you shouldn't do it.
Following on from what El said,
Yeah.
your manager, even when Trossard got sent off, he's like, he couldn't believe it.
Yeah, but then he hugged him when he came off as
Did
well.
he hug him?
Yeah,
like,
right there and
that
then.
is setting
Yeah.
a bad...
Not necessarily because
That's sending a bad message.
it might be, but it depends on what's said in the changing room because
Should've
the
spanked him.
Arsenal business is not you lot's business. It's not my business. It should be kept in the
Could be
dressing
tricky.
room.
Could be
and
doing
have a
another one of his
conversation.
mind games, Arteta.
He might be. He might be.
Also, for me, like I know you played a lot of football. If you got sent off and your manager gives you a hug and then gives you a bollocking after, you like which
Mixed
side?
mess, mate.
Like,
I'm
which side are
going
you
to tell you
on,
something.
bro?
This...
But come on, man, you're talking about, no disrespect, Steve, I mean this in the greatest respects. This guy's playing on Sky TV in front of millions.
Still, I
You
would
gotta
have that.
show your acting skills on the bill at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he could have also just carried on managing instead of.
Arsenal is giving...
What did you
It's giving.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Femininity
Honestly, I kind of disagree in this sense. I think the people that are showing the most emotion are Man City. Like Man City usually stand firm, are not interested in what people are saying because they're that confident. They are reacting to everything Arsenal's doing. From Haaland saying humble yourself or whatever he said to Arteta at the end of the game. That means
He's a shithouse, though.
spoken about my man in the changing room and it's got to you a little bit. He is a house. But then you've got Bernardo Silva complaining after the game.
What did he say?
The time taken. He was talking about the way in which he went about the game.
Arsenal's time taken in that game.
Yeah, like the wasting of time. And usually, none of these people care. So the fact that they're beginning to care.
Poet, I'm going to give you a moment to gloat.
Whoa. Before you gloat,
I don't know if I can,
See?
bro.
He didn't want it.
before you gloat, what? Like before we gloat, let's see if he's gonna gloat after this. You camped in your box for 80% of the game. How many shots? 26 shot. Like, what are you gonna gloat about?
Well, you're going to gloat about the fact that City last year said you lot celebrated a draw.
Wow.
And this year what happened?
They celebrated a draw. I just think, do you know what? When you do the Mikel Mourinho thing, it's praised.
Mourinho?
Yeah, Mourinho, Jose Mourinho, but he done the Mikel Mourinho in second half.
Oh, you meant your new signing?
No, not Mourinho. No. Mourinho.
He's still injured.
Unfortunately. I just think if that game finishes 2-1, no one cares.
What do you think?
Everyone
What do you
talks
think,
about-
Caleb?
Put the food down, big man. Yeah, eating vegetables, doing this whole gentrification thing. It's not even your vibe.
You
eat
have
pizza.
to, at this point, either tell Poet to shut up and eat the food or just throw the food
Yeah,
away.
stick or twist.
One or the other.
Stick or twist.
Or
Would you rather?
fold.
I'm good at fold.
KG, come.
There we go.
Oh, he's off. He wants to eat so bad.
Come on.
Oh, we ain't done a sub in a while, man.
Man was already
They
falling.
needed me, fam. Sit down. Wait, no, don't do that though. How's he subbed off?
He subbed off.
Has this ever happened in history?
Not.
Not to eat a salad.
Oh my God, Skits.
Yeah, Skits got shipped.
I'm a big sub still. What are you saying? Beer goals now. Let's go.
City Arsenal, go.
Huh? See Arsenal. You know what? First time I'm gonna have to say it. I have to give Arsenal some credit.
Uh-oh.
Had to give Arsenal. No, we had to give them some credit, bro. Look at the games that they've had to go into. I hate Arsenal.
So can we stick to that agenda then, please?
No, but we have to be real. Even with the hatred, the away games. Let's say the away games they had to go on. They said that they what? Spurs got the point there. Well, got 3 points there. The
Then
next
Atalanta.
game, Atalanta. Tough game. Raya did his thing. Obviously, was it double save as well?
Saved the penalty,
Double
yeah.
save as well. But then again, that's a hard away fixture. Can
I just come in on that?
Yes.
And you remember, because I watched the last week's show.
Hey,
I'm sure you said, I can't wait to be here next week.
I did.
When they haven't won, because they remember they had all this chest.
Yes.
We're here next week, and you're here giving them credit.
Well, because I wanted to see a capitulation.
Oh, I've got chest.
And it's not
100%.
about that you listen. I know football, yeah, and you lot defended well.
Yeah, we did.
But what I'm saying is, just humble yourself, because that's not the way to win.
You want Arsenal fans to be
titles
humble?
like that. Like Man United winning titles. Come on, bro. You weren't playing against your nearest rival and getting camped in your box. Yeah, but how long haven't they won at the Etihad? 2016, 15, and you're down to 10 men. 45 minutes.
I'm just saying, if you want to talk about Man United, when they won the treble, they came to Arsenal, lost 3-0. So that make of that what you
won
want.
the treble, though. Free.
But you won the treble.
Yeah.
So it doesn't, that point means
Big
as
man,
much as
big
you want it
man.
to mean. Like we
Allow
if we
it.
win the league at the
What
end of
was
the
my
season,
point?
I don't know, but if we win the league
Exactly.
at the end of the season,
Wait until we go to your house.
No one can see your point.
No,
You're talking
what
about
are you
us
talking
to
about?
did it,
to
darling,
humble
New York.
yourself.
I
I'm
don't
saying
know
to
what the
you,
fuck they said.
they didn't humble themselves in the 98-99 season and won the
Bro,
treble.
West Ham
Why are we going back
is
to
gonna get
98,
this.
97?
Man United is going to get this most definitely.
What would you prefer? No. It's not about what
Just
they've
wait,
done.
allow a
Arsenal
big
done
man.
well, the team.
Yeah.
The team.
Yeah.
Que faltota.
Like, it's the fans. It's a long
You want
old
Arsenal?
season.
Hey, what, you want Arsenal fans to be
That's
humble?
the
We're
shit.
talking about Arsenal, the team here. I don't care what the...
Bro, you want Arsenal fans to be humble? You're asking for too much, bro.
They don't know the difference between the players
And themselves, yeah.
and themselves.
100%. It's like you literally feel like you was on that pitch doing the slide tackle. That's all. That's what I saw. So it's just like, it's a long old season. Remember how it always ends up.
Allow it, big
And this
man.
is me. I was raring off. I want Arsenal to win the league, by the way.
I thought they were disappointed, to be honest. I thought their fans were disappointed.
You thought they should have been more? You thought they'd have gone more?
I thought they would be like more excited. I thought City fans were more like celebrating a lot more than
But
Arsenal.
who's saying you got 1 second? Look at contextualize it. Like you said, we played against Spurs, we won. I thought going into the week we're gonna lose against Man City. I genuinely
say that.
believe that, and I honestly
I
believe
think
if
we're
Rodri
gonna
doesn't
lose,
get injured, I think we do lose. I think we got a little bit of a lifeline when you got a player that has.
tampoco,
How many
tampoco,
times has he
tampoco.
lost when Man City have played?
Once with United.
So if he's only lost once, that means him coming off the field. That's a much better situation for us to be.
Philip!
But when you go
Vamos.
down to 10 men after being 2-1 up, 30 seconds before the halftime whistle goes, in the second half, I said to the people I'm with, we're not going to win, but I just hope we can get a point. Now, if I watch 45 minutes of us camped in our half against arguably the best side in the world, and they score once with John Stones scoring an open goal when he's just come off the bench, I don't think there's loads of reasons for me to be angry. I don't really have loads of reasons to be
Can
angry.
I ask who showed the traits of champions? Because
I
they
mean,
say
I
that
do,
about both
'cause-
teams, innit? Where City can say, well, they didn't lose. They show the traits of champions. You guys
It has, bro.
got through the game, a hard away fixture.
They barely won.
Who's more like, who look like
Can I quickly
champions
answer?
in
I think we both messed up. Do you know why? Because if we keep the clean sheet in the second half, you go, that is the sign of a champion. Not to say you play it down, but bro, it was 1 minute and 20 seconds away from us keeping it. Like if you throw that away 1 minute and 20
Tampoco,
seconds,
it was literally like
irrespective
few
of the circumstances,
seconds.
how well you've done, it's still a bit of a, no, geezer, you only had 1 minute to go. And Man City, for me personally, you cannot have that much possession, that many chances, and only score in the last minute from a sub, John Stones.
can.
Man City should be very
But that's
upset.
exactly what they done.
Fuck
Roles are
that
reversed,
shit.
obviously, being a United fan. Fergie time, like we always scored in the last minute. That's a
Dude, I'm tired of talking about
So
Man
when I walked away
United.
from the game, I said,
They lost to
"Oh, we didn't
Twente
even
today,
break it last
bro.
time," But they still managed to find a way.
Man
Like,
United,
guys
you haven't been
defended
relevant in 10
everything.
years.
Can I also add something? If City
A
was
la
winning
madre.
2-1,
A
and
la
Arsenal
ma-
scored to get 2-2.
Who's that, Vinicius?
They're talking so
Oh,
much.
there'll
That
be a
fraud.
The
parade.
next 6 months.
There'll be a parade.
Aye.
There'll be a parade.
This is why I can't stand Arsenal fans. But they're trying to say,
Tired.
but we was 30 seconds. football's football. The result is the result. It doesn't matter when the goals come.
I can't wait. I can't wait until one of y'all stupid team
and then
loses.
camp for the rest of the game and win. You're saying you won.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't know, man. I think sometimes, even as haters, bro, we have to be able to give credit, fam.
I'm not discrediting them
these lot
completely,
looking
but
finally.
teams, I
No, again, bro. It's one of my. I love getting on Arsenal fan channels. All of them. I go visit everyone. I love to see the pain, bro. So I'm here for it. But then
Why you go to Man United channel? Loads of pain.
What, for pain?
Yeah.
I don't go to the. What do you mean?
He's lashing out, KG.
Pain,
He's lashing out.
You know what I'm saying? We stay deluded as well. We stay. Come on.
Bro, y'all been deluded.
Bluetooth.
Why? Oh, there you go.
Tried though.
Deluded.
but then this is it. Like the killer is finally Arsenal look like they just look different, and it looks like that game yesterday was a game where
And
you say,
different,
okay,
yeah, and
we can see
different.
the
Pull up in the
separation
syllabus
of the
of-
rest
Oh,
of the
bro.
league and the man them that are really doing something. Because even that fight at the end, that lets me know this is serious.
I hear you.
now.
There's a rivalry, but I'm
Now
back
it's
with-
a rivalry.
I agree
Is
with
it?
Steve.
Yeah.
I still, it's a rivalry, but it's immaturity though, man.
Even when it bruised at the end, that's when you know you're in something. As an old, when we United, when was involved?
Reminiscent.
Old, yeah. I remember when the end of the game, it meant something. There was a bit argy-bargy. Because we know that this game means something to the end of the season. So
boys,
finally, you're seeing that
I'm
with.
not trying to cut you off here, but
Yeah.
then does that change Trossard getting sent off because it meant something so much to him that he flew into someone, or is that still
So, baby.
bad decision?
Oh no, that's foolishness.
That's foolishness. Irrespective of his reason, it doesn't matter. I would still.
So we
say
got a
something.
legit rivalry, yeah? We stamping this.
Again, with the Arsenal thing, I have to let everyone know I want Arsenal to win the league. I said it last week. I love that they've come back. They've got this aggression. Reminds me of the old Arsenal. Even looking at the starting team, Calafiori, you're like, hang on, he's giving it.
He got moved to.
No, but there was a part where at the start he's up for it from the start, from the first
The
whistle
celebration gassed me.
It gassed me. I can't lie.
Timber, your centre halves, they're on it. Like I'm just looking, I'm like, whoa, I love this about football. But what I do not
love
like
this
is
game.
how
Looking at us.
No, it's just that.
But
I've seen the top teams go to a top team, get 10 men, and still look like they wasn't a League 2 club in the FA Cup.
You said they look like a League 2 team.
The formation was what? What was the formation was what? 6-3.
5-4, bro.
What side in the
Did you not
Premier
watch
League
the
right
game?
now do you have enough confidence in saying that in the second half of a game after being 2-1 up, 45 minutes, do you feel that can go and beat City in that
It's not
second
about
half?
beat them,
No,
but
I'm asking because you're saying to
No,
me,
no.
who do you see
I
doing it?
couldn't see no one, but I could see them attacking, doing something. It was crazy.
Liverpool, you would say, would risk it all. Liverpool
5
under
days.
Klopp,
100.
definitely risk it all. They're the only ones. They're the only ones that are on that one.
But KG, the reason why Arsenal won is last season, how much did
Hey,
we lose?
Cristiano.
2 points. The season before that, it's margin. So we're understanding in this game, walk away with something. Don't walk away with
leave on
nothing.
something.
And Jose Mourinho used to do this.
What is this,
I've
bro?
always talked sense. You just don't want to listen. Jose Mourinho used to look at these games and say 4 points at bare minimum. I'm going to go away from home, get probably a 0-0, and then beat you at home. You do that to the
better
three
than
other
this.
sides. You look like, and you'll beat the rest of the
do you
sides to
think
win
Pep
the
says
league.
that at the start of a season?
No, Pep wants to beat everyone. I think Pep doesn't
That's
care.
the difference. And what you just and you said it. You said it last week. Arsenal in the league. You said it.
Arsenal can't win the league,
Yeah,
man.
you said that, and they're not
Oh,
a
you
league.
just
Put it in
said,
the team
no,
right now.
Rodri's out,
That's
you can win it. Which one is it,
Up and
bro?
down. How is he still 90, 80?
Yeah, because you have to show
89.
some level of No,
been injured the whole time.
don't preface it, bro. Just have
Allow
it out
it,
there.
allow it, allow
I
it,
see the three
fam.
letters, I'll believe. Without them 3 letters,
What's that one?
I don't.
Rodri
ACL.
out. Oh, ACL.
Rodri's out is not 3 letters.
80
Rodri's
years,
out,
Jacob,
it's not 3
80
letters.
years,
3
Jacob.
letters, Rodri's out.
And out, bro. Out, bro. Don't try to
But
look
I'm
like
saying you.
Why?
I'm saying you.
No, I'm about to say you,
Caleb,
though.
Caleb,
I'm about
come
to
back,
say you,
bro.
though. What are you saying? What, straight already? No, allow it, bro. Allow it.
Was
Step back
Calafiori's
in my
goal of the weekend? Or was Welbeck's goal of the weekend?
No,
I didn't see
Calafiori was
what
better than
big
that.
score.
And it's the level, degree of difficulty, who is against the
audacity.
temerity.
He had an
That's
ACL
it.
I
injury.
feel like he also stepped onto it and whipped it
Yeah, to take down your left.
left to right.
Also, one thing that I saw that I thought was incredible. It was Skelly. Skelly's decided to not only get a yellow card before he's even come on the field. He went to go and back his boy. Something Diggity, you said you should do. Go ahead and back your boy.
Who
And
the
then
fuck is that guy?
is this? What do you think about Skelly's debut?
I don't know who Skelly is.
Don't do that to our Arsenal boys. Don't do
Honestly,
that.
that's a crazy question to ask, bro.
Who is he? Who's Skelly?
One of the best debuts I've seen in my life. Me and Lippy definitely agree. You
think that was the best debut?
ever. Sensational. He came on about
Already have him.
done absolutely nothing. Got a yellow.
Come on, man.
He done nothing, man.
He got booked before he came on.
Never. How can you get highlights for doing nothing?
He got booked before he came on. That's hard.
Hard to say though. And this is like if I'm gonna add to your little Skelly thing, yeah.
Love him.
Which I'll take my brethren Skelly back home.
Skelly.
I know Skelly as well.
Skelly.
Bold
bro.
Skelly?
Who?
Is your Skelly bold?
Yeah.
No way you know the same Skelly.
We'll talk later.
What, like mix?
Yeah, somewhere.
I swear he is.
Anyway.
I will take that. I will take that. I will take that.
Although he come on and say he done nothing, I swear to God, the way he came on
SBC
and
minimum.
organised, like he was like, he was talking. Who played in front of him? Oh, Martinelli.
Yeah.
Martinelli. So he's telling
We need to
Martinelli.
talk about him, by the way.
Yeah, but you have to tell Martinelli to do things.
He's good. He had a good game. No, Martinelli.
Martinelli played very well.
I don't think he
Played very well.
You think he had a good game?
did. He did, man.
Go for it. Go for it.
Bro, how many times did he come up against, who was it, Walker?
Yeah.
Nothing. What did he do?
That's not fair.
You know why? It's because he defended well.
Yeah, but bro, when you had an outlet, no, because there was so many times when you had one outlet and it was Martinelli. When you were defending, you gave the ball to him every single time, bro. He done nothing. Sterling in that position, Doku in that position, whoever else in that position does something.
I hear you. At 16 years old, did you play football a lot?
Oh. Yeah.
Do you remember having to be in a situation where you are just chasing the ball for about 30 minutes?
No, I was a keeper.
Oh, fair enough. That says it all.
I stopped him in a round.
Who's saying
bro.
you was a keeper?
You got Dubois, fam.
Wait, why?
That puts some packs.
It's an early knockout.
That means that you were.
Voy a depositar
Don't
mañana.
forget, no.
No, but he looks like one of them. I chose to be in goal.
No, he
came to
didn't.
school with
I'll be
gloves
back.
on.
I'll be back.
You came to
I'll be
school with
back. I'll
gloves
be
on.
back.
Was your last
I'll be
name?
back. I'll be
I
back.
got tapes. It's normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got tapes.
You better than Vuj.
Oh, it's not even a
Innit,
comparison.
Vuj
bro.
is
Not
bad,
even a
Vuj is
comparison.
bad.
We're just not a
Damn, we
That's
could
good
get that
goal
much, huh?
For like
He was rubbish.
Wembley Cup and
I don't like this.
Fuck
I don't like this.
Fuck
Let's not
it.
discredit Vuj whilst he's not here to defend himself.
No, he's terrible.
Hey, bro, discredit, man, fam. That's how the thing goes, bro.
That's
No,
my-
you got
hey, that's my
discredit, guys.
dog.
Man, what was his point?
You got an assist.
When you're chasing, be honest as well, when you're chasing the game for that long, like 30 minutes not having the ball, and then someone knocks something long and says run for it, after you've been running for 30 minutes, I'm telling you, way too difficult. Offensively, you can't judge Martinelli in that game because not one Arsenal player, attacking-wise, in the second half done anything. I think where you got to judge that game is defensively,
right back,
how
right
well
back.
did we do? And for me, Martinelli, defensively,
Correct.
incredible.
Bro, he was
I'll
that
put some
outlet.
packs.
So he had less defensive duties than everyone else.
Ingeso.
He was the guy that if you got the ball, you're finding
come back,
Martinelli.
come
So
back,
he didn't
come
have to
back,
defend
come
as
back,
much. And every
course
time
he does.
Every time you
Not as much.
tried to give him the ball. Yeah, because you always have to have an outlet, bro. Because you can always catch him on a
Watch
counter.
this. If the keeper's here, watch this, everyone. The keeper's here,
Balassi.
and your centre-back's here, the winger's going to be about there. That means when you get the ball, you still got to run about 15 yards before you get to the halfway line.
that
I
ad?
would agree with you.
Was that ad?
It wasn't, sorry, sir. If we weren't playing so deep,
invoice, bro.
if we weren't playing so deep and we played a little bit further up, I'd fully agree with you. But when you're playing that
Like Grimaldo?
deep on top of your goalkeeper,
Okay, so what about the 16 games before that?
Fat.
huh?
What about the 16 games?
What is that boy
Yeah,
doing?
forget this, man. Boys, listen to
Don't
this
do that
terrible-
to me. I'll show you a text from September 30th. I let man know. I text 9 to said Martinelli.
Oh, yeah, you wanted Mudryk. It's
I
true.
wanted Mudryk early.
Hey, what is that? I'm going back to when you said, does he remember when he was 16?
no.
Yeah, that's
What the hell did any of that have to do with that?
Does he look like he's played football recently? I was doing him a favour.
That's harsh. Blood. I swear you've been in goal recently.
No, but he hasn't done gym, so it's calm. He doesn't know what it is.
Same ugly.
On the debut pow yeah?
You can't.
Debut pow
You know, I'm going to have a race.
Ugly,
Let me
fam.
race with all three of you. See who wins. I'll run backwards.
I ain't not gonna lie though. I got one of the sleeper builds though. Cardio wise,
Shut up.
I'm
Shut up.
cardio wise.
Next.
Hey, real talk. Cardio wise, I'm real, bro. Hey, wait, hold on. You man think on the rowing machine? Does anyone think they could test me on the rowing
Rowing
Anyone
machine?
here? Anyone here?
You win.
You win, yeah, you
There
win.
you
Yeah.
go. Cardio, I'm on what? The elliptical, fam.
He was
That's
talking
the ones
about
I'm
a
on,
100
bro.
meter sprint, and you're talking about a cross trainer.
You gotta bring your strengths to the situation. On the elliptical, I'm a mad thing, fam.
You win, KG.
Yo, Jordy, let's keep it moving. I'm actually embarrassed for him.
Boys, I got a terrible stat.
Go on.
Well, it depends how you
I
look
know
at
it. I know it.
Timber and Havertz didn't complete a single pass in the whole game, the whole 90 minutes.
Huh?
No, wait, we can't say the whole 90 minutes. Did they both play 90 minutes?
That's the first time that happened, boys, since 0304.
Whoa.
Timber didn't complete a pass.
Wait, but Poet, what happened in 0304?
Oh yeah, you don't know.
Innit? There we go.
03-04, we went undefeated.
What does that mean though? They didn't complete a pass, and how are we gonna?
But he went undefeated.
Did that help?
20 years ago.
We're done. Wait, so if someone didn't complete a pass in 03-04, what are we saying right now?
It's probably, I don't know, man. It's probably flipping.
So this is a mad stat, bro.
Probably
So
Kevin Nolan,
what we know right now is in the last game they didn't complete a pass. Havertz and Timber, and we're celebrating this.
No, I'm not. But you know what? Don't you think football's a little bit like NFL or whatever that thing? It's just too tactical. Like back in the day, this wouldn't really happen because everyone was just 4-4-2, go for it. Now everything is so tactical. No, I hear you, but you see when Man City got the ball, I just saw the man then retreat straight towards the
first half. First half, you were right.
First half was decent.
building up
It
from
was
the back.
second
That's what I'm
half.
thinking. Timber getting the ball from the back, not being able to complete a single pass is crazy to me. And you had two players. It hasn't happened since for two.
Oh, two. Not one.
No, this is
Hey,
stinks. This
that's
stinks.
so
This stinks,
bad.
man. It's so bad.
But they're happy being bullies on the pitch now. Bullies that can't pass.
I don't know.
Come on, man.
Wait,
Come on, man.
What's going on with
I don't
you,
know what
though?
side you're on.
No, let's
See?
talk about this
See?
though. No, we need to talk about this. So we done the West Ham section.
Yeah.
Why is your chest this high after the West Ham section? Bro, you got moved to, bro. You're moving mad. You should be hearing immediate humility, fam.
Right, you ready?
No, Steve-O, what's going on? Where is this come from, bro? Because I'm concerned right now.
Okay.
Why are you begging it with Arsenal?
Are you? No, I'm not begging it. I'm saying, obviously, hurt people hurt people. I know that. I've done that before, yeah? What you're doing right now is a disgrace, bro. Bro, your team got moved to, bro. You already wanted to message back Moyes, bro.
Hang about.
Do you want to message back Moyes?
No.
He started to get nervous.
Apparently he's getting ready. He's getting ready to
He started to get worried.
What, 4 games in? 5 games in?
Hey, listen, because you put that pressure on United when we were struggling. I heard people start saying, "What's going on there?" How's your manager doing, bro?
Not great. But you missed this section. We already spoke about it.
No, I wanted to make sure because you got too much energy and chest for someone that lost 3-0 on the weekend, bro.
Why are you defending Arsenal like that?
I'm not, but I don't know what's going on.
Let me go.
Like, yeah, let's go.
As I say to the
and
trolls.
what are you getting involved for, bro? He beat him, bro. Why are you even being nice to him, bro?
He ain't
Remind
beat
him.
me. He has not beat me.
Go on.
But as I say to the people on
Who has beat you?
Twitter, as I say to the people on Twitter
Yes.
or X,
Yes.
Go on.
I'm a fan of football.
Don't do.
No. Are you gonna hear a legit?
I'll listen.
Ask the question.
I'll listen.
I am a fan of football.
Yes.
Because of the team I support, it doesn't mean I can't speak on another team. Especially when it's the #1 game in the whole of the world. Respect. In the Melanesian man as well. But no, probably this game, right? But I'm going to talk about it.
Don't you think there should be a level of humility if you held free though?
No, my team lose most weeks. So every time my team lose, I can't go and talk.
It's true, KG.
To your rival, he's
Doesn't
sitting
matter.
right next to you.
I know where football is right now.
To your rival,
Derby meant nothing to me.
huh?
Did you not see me in the pub after with my shirt off? Win, lose or draw, we get on the booze, geezer.
Because you have no expectation. You have no expectation, bro. That's all it is.
That's true.
You have no
Let me say
expectation.
Hold on.
Go on, mate.
Right,
you know,
these
it's-
now.
still wanna talk about
I'm
this?
already done with the thing.
I'm ready to.
I
I'm
will
ready to.
answer the last bit.
I expected a bit more humility.
I'll answer the last bit.
Hard Lewandowski.
No, it's cool.
What did you say?
That's it. You're rattled, bro.
Let's talk about poetic justice.
I know.
Begging it with Arsenal. It's done. He's done.
United fan begging it of Arsenal. Just mad.
I'm not. I hate Arsenal.
No,
but
it's
No,
too
you
late,
do not.
bro.
All right,
No, you
order
do
in the
not.
court. We need Jordy to say something. KG, you're becoming a distraction. We might call Caleb back.
Sorry. All right,
coming
cool,
at Uncle
cool,
Tom.
cool. So I'm not a good. I'm not a good sub in it.
No, you're a great sub.
I'm a starter.
You don't know the tempo yet.
The tempo of the game. I haven't got. Yeah.
Let's talk about poetic justice, boys.
Oh,
This thing
Poetic
gone down.
justice.
Oh,
Right,
so
good
it's
film,
up,
yeah?
It's up.
Good song. Good film.
Gabriel's great at headers, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what did Haaland do when he got the equaliser?
Tried to injure his head.
Quality.
Class.
Quality.
It's like a Kendrick Lamar level diss.
Did you
know?
see Ian Wright complaining about that today?
Oh God.
What did he say?
Ian Wright complaining about the ball getting chucked on Gabriel's head, said it made him feel uncomfortable. I just didn't understand why he was complaining about that and a few other Arsenal. I think that was just funny, especially when you look at Ben White. He does it to everyone.
Yeah, man.
I think it's a good bit of housery, bro.
Yeah.
That you need.
This
it's
is
just-
what football is about.
Yeah, you want them players that do that. I like the Monster One, Mopay. I like the stuff that he's on. You
Where's
just got to do it.
Marseille.
He's doing it in Marseille as well, you know.
Oh, someone's gonna smoke him in France.
Nah, they just beat Lyon, and he done it to them as well in the last minute. Yeah.
Your boy, is it Jamal Lowe? Scored the winner.
Jonathan Rowe.
Jonathan Rowe.
Jamal Lowe is not my boy. Sorry.
Hey, Jamal Lowe, you are not Geordie's boy, bro.
Wait, who's Jamal Lowe?
Portsmouth, innit?
Nikita Paris.
He used to be Portsmouth. I don't know who he is now though.
Like, okay, he threw the ball at Gabriel's head.
Put your finger down.
He tapped Arteta on the shoulder, and then he squared up to Gabriel Jesus. Is he acting out a bit?
Bro, he scored 100 goals.
Yeah, he's true.
When you become a centurion, it's long.
Do what you want. Hear me out for a second, yeah? I genuinely think that players now are starting to look at things like Twitter and Insta, seeing how much people hate football now, and they're saying, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Maybe, like, he is acting out, but for the benefit of the fans, because when he threw the ball at Gabriel's head back,
class.
I was loving it.
Class. It could be an advert.
Yeah, I know. No one cared about Mopai before he started doing all of that anyways, and now in people's eyes,
now he's Twitter's
that guy.
Now he's Twitter's class.
Probably
also,
see it.
you know, like when we was talking about rivalries, the reason why I was asking if Arsenal and City is actually a rivalry is because it was never really that spicy before.
But do you think, I reckon a lot of the things off the field are making it a rivalry. So we're responsible for it. Even now we're going to do a bit of content and put it out. Everyone is pairing them together, then saying Gabriel versus Haaland, and then they're doing all of this commentary before a ball's even kicked. It's almost like a boxing match. So when you get in there, you're like, you know what? I have to. I've seen what the man are saying on Twitter. I've seen what this person's saying. All the build-up and builds that.
And you know what it is before? It was as simple as don't buy a newspaper and don't watch the news.
That's
Whereas
so true.
now, it's like, if I'm trying to do anything...
KG's on every platform.
Got his face everywhere.
Just chatting before and after the game.
Yeah. Listen, you got to do your job, man. And I'm still...
was he actually at the boxing the other day, or was that not a skit?
No, I was at the boxing, fam.
That is very rude. What you just said.
Did you say was it a skit?
I just see it looked like there was a green screen.
I was there for His Excellency anyways. You know what I'm saying? Big up, take our shake. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, you can't say His Excellency here.
Yeah, you can.
Bro, he had the national anthem in Wembley. He could do
played
it
it,
once,
bro.
bro.
Can I ask you a question? Just one question. How about the way Haaland knocked out Partey or Dubois versus AJ? What was worse for you with their live in the flesh?
What Dubois did to AJ?
Yeah, Dubois did to
was
AJ.
beyond the mad thing.
Oh my
I
gosh.
still can't believe this morning. I'm still thinking about he smothered him, and it could have been a first round knockout as well. And the referee was nice.
Are you one of those guys that knows about all sports?
Not every sport, but I feel like you're getting that from.
Yeah, you don't know about badminton and that.
No, I'm not like
Badminton.
NFL and all that. I don't watch any of that. MMA, boxing, maybe.
Are you men all good at other sports apart from football?
Tennis, I'm alright.
What?
Yeah.
Hey, what? Hey, let's.
What the f was that? What was that just now?
Are you man good at other sports apart from football? I'm
Oh,
just saying.
sorry. I thought you meant as in like you lot are at football. Are you good at everything
No,
else?
I didn't say that.
KG can't play ball.
Do you know, I think I'm better than you at football. I won't lie to you, bro. What could you bring to football, though?
Oh, smoke.
I think you're the guy that just tells people, hey, wear those boots. Like, you're just there to just give drip advice, bro. You can't really... like, what are you going to do, bro? I was the African youth in shoes.
Advice.
Think about it. As African youth in shoes, I would get picked before you. Guaranteed, because they knew I was there to play. I was there, yeah, giving risk to myself. I didn't have no grip. Man was there. You would never...
Ellis?
What position are you good at?
Ellis, calm down.
Ooh, what position? I wasn't always moved, bro.
He probably was.
You were
though.
just a light-skinned guy. Hey, send it to me. Hey,
What
pass it to
was
me.
your trim? What was your trim though? What was your
Hey,
trim?
what? I had the skiffle. Old school skiffle.
What was that one?
Low, I'm saying a -1. You know, like the low, the African youth. That's a good ball.
That's not allowed in school. That's not allowed in school though.
What, the skiffle?
Yeah, they send you home. It's distracting. It's a distracting thing. I'm not trying to be funny.
Why do you think you're better than me at football?
Oh,
bro?
you
We
pivoted
need
back.
to get to that. No. I want to understand. What? Because of my size?
I think that you probably play like how you dress.
No. My dress sense today is wild. I got the light blues. I got the light blues EastEnders.
Bro, you had a backpack. You're just like Tigo.
No, I've got the light blue Tigos on. I ain't gonna lie to you, they're calling me Oluwa Tigo as well, so...
Let me ask you something, KG.
No, but wait, can I go back to that though? I wanna go back to that. Why do you believe you're better than me at football, bro?
Because-
And what position do you play?
I can play a lot of positions, I'll be honest.
Hey,
I'm quite
yo.
tough.
Rodrigo.
You sound like a utility, you sound like a John O'Shea, bro. Move, fam. You don't even know where you are on the pitch, bro.
Give us a roll.
Any John O'Shea, get out of here, bro.
CDM, left back, Left
CDM
mid, I'm easy.
CDM left back, left
CDM left. Get out, bro.
No, KG, what's your position? Because I can't see. I can't call it.
Supporting striker.
What?
You're a house phone. You're not mobile. How you doing this?
Striker, bro.
He looks like a pace and power merchant, but without pace.
You know how you're built?
Hey, you man, trust me.
Do you know how you're built?
I know how I'm built.
You look like
When
a phone
thought
box.
What was this?
You look like a phone box.
You man are trying to say, was I like this at 13? Are you man well? Are you man well? Can we still ball
Ese
today?
vato
Is there still a chance that we can,
do for Roma.
let people know? Like a five-a-side, a light five-a-side thing. There's enough people in Filthy Fellas. You better show up, bro.
Do you know
and
what
I
we
want you
should
to
do?
play the end, bro.
We actually
I'm
got
on you now.
We've actually got a full
They
fella
bring out
team. We
84
should play
now.
us lot versus our team.
Oh, no.
And I want to see
That's
who's
ridiculous.
actually. They're really good as well.
that's ridiculous.
I'll get them to play their. We got a Filthy Fella football team. I'll get them to play their weaker side, and then we can all play.
Let's just bring 5 players.
Yeah.
I'll bring 5 players.
Let's go.
Wednesday
It's
night.
set.
Can everyone do 10 kick-ups? First question. Hussein?
Whoa, I didn't hear it.
Okay.
One sec. Jordy's got a
Can
great
everyone do
question.
10 kick-ups?
Easy. Can you do 10 kick-ups?
Easy.
No, but you're a keeper. You're a keeper. You're a keeper. You're cool.
Keeper, you can do 10.
No, but the new keepers
Oi,
need to
he
be good
better
on the
be
floor.
hard at ball. He better be hard.
You know you've offended him a lot.
What the
I'm
heck
better
is
than
this?
him. I've never seen him play. I'm better than him. I know.
I just want to say, in listening to that,
Yeah.
you're saying he better be good. If you was listening to him, you would have heard a couple of phrases that he said.
What stuck out to you?
Supporting striker.
One, he says he's a supporting striker. No one even uses that term. Like,
I don't know because he's fresh. They might say that in Africa. I don't know.
No, it's fine. We allow it. We allow it. We'll allow it. We'll allow it. We'll allow it.
I'm
We'll allow
African too,
he
man.
also said, I'm African too. Oh, today are ya?
it. You lot tried to get me in real trouble.
Today, yeah.
You lot tried to get me in trouble, bro. See, I had your back just now.
He also said,
Because you're supporting.
what position he said, what position are you good at?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for real. That's crazy.
No, I said what? And he
Said I was
started
trained.
naming all positions all over the
Well, that's
pitch
because
like a
that's what
utility.
he plays. But
Damn,
you said what
67.
you good at.
Where are you good, bro?
Isn't he be in the 70s?
Is
at least?
that a
Yeah,
better
nah.
I told you what set I'm in, though. Why are you not doing that, though?
That is someone that don't play football.
But
Where are
now-
you good
but
at?
Now I'm starting to feel bad for mocking him about football in the first place.
No, listen, I know I'm better than you, though.
I can't wait.
Steve,
Wembley.
very quickly.
Go on, mate.
Just don't even think too long.
Good.
Who's Arsenal's greatest ever right back? Is it Ben White?
Lee Dixon.
Who's your greatest ever right back?
Lauren.
Do you know what? Because of the trim. He had the cane rolls there.
And you had to relax.
Oh, but sorry, quickly on Haaland, yeah. I know it might be premature,
No, it's
but I'm
just
going to ask
be
a
like
question.
84.
Anyway,
Steve was premature.
Yes, he's
It's a
going to do it.
discussion.
He's going to score more goals than Alan Shearer.
Nah, not even that. I think he will if he stays long enough, but not
He
even
won't.
that.
He won't stay long enough.
Is he already in the discussion for best Prem striker ever?
When he scores 2 goals, but has like 5 touches in the game, listen, is he the greatest? Is he going to be the greatest scorer of goals?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Is he the greatest? No.
Yeah, as a complete striker,
Yeah.
you'd rather have someone that really.
Yeah.
I hear it. But if you want,
Would
what
you?
I'd rather what?
No, I hear it. I hear
We're
it.
not talking
No,
about
as
managing
a complete
him.
player. As a complete player. As a complete player, you'd rather have someone with a skill set of Rooney than a Haaland. But at the end of the day, you want your striker to score goals. So what? Like, I don't care if he doesn't dribble.
He will be a Premier League great scorer of goals.
That's a great striker then.
I guess so.
I think we don't want to.
guess so.
I think we want to leave him out just because
Yeah.
of the nostalgia merchants in it.
I don't want to leave him out. But I also want to say that when we have these discussions at the end of after 5 years, 10 years, or whenever it is, and we're going back, surely we're talking about what it was like to watch the player as well,
Course.
right? So like,
Course.
if I'm taking it now, just in his 2 seasons he's
I
been
still
there.
can't believe KG thinks he's better at football than me, bro.
Bro, believe it.
My God, he's had enough.
I'm glad that hurt you still. I'm glad.
not even hurt,
And it's even when we play, you're going to know, bro. That's it. The game is going to let you know. You say, listen, KG, I should have never spoken to you like that.
Steve-O, I'll tell you what though. That finish yesterday was mental.
It was
Yeah,
cold.
yeah.
Even
Toe
and
punch.
you know what's mad? You lot spoke about Saliba and Gabriel, and I think he heard the murmurs because they said they'll stop him. They said they can stop the cyborg, and literally
He didn't stop him.
Literally split them open, and the finish is sublime.
The run was just as crazy as the finish.
The touch from Savinho as well, mental.
Hey, who did he cook? As well?
Yeah.
Calamari.
Not a fried calamari.
I'm gonna stick with you though.
So,
at the
yeah.
end of the end of the career, you take a look at are they a complete player? What parts of their game were poor?
But he might improve.
Haaland's got
but-
some poor parts of his game,
I think
bro.
we have that discussion maybe later on because he's got to improve and he's improved since the start. So he might end up adding assists like Harry Kane's done, all the rest of it. But right now, the 2 touches in a half and all of that, it's never been my cup of tea. I'd rather a Drogba.
What do you think that's down to?
Oh, just the way Pep's asking. Like, literally, he's doing what's asked.
But do you think that then there's a possibility for him to go to another team where...
And score more goals?
Not necessarily score more goals, but where his role is more free. Because in City, you see like how Grealish has been treated. If you don't play the system, you don't get minutes.
You know what is else? I watch him for Norway, because I watch Norway now. Because I like to, they've got a lot of good players.
I'm mad thing.
Yeah, you need a job.
You need a job.
He's similar to Norway.
I watch Norway.
And that's the one where you should be running, getting the ball back, taking it
running
over, like it's school football.
It's like Bale. When Bale plays for Wales, he's just on the fuck.
Hey. You got to focus on that still.
What happened, mate? What happened? What's
He said, because you said you watch Norway. He said, yo, he needs a job still, because he's saying that you're just like you're spending a lot of time watching.
Can I be honest with you?
I'm not. Do you remember? It's not me.
I know.
I want you.
Just pass on a message,
Bro, you're not allowed to rehash beef and then say I'm out of it.
Wait, I just wanted to say, focus on that because you tried to override it still.
Hey, a man that wears a jumper which has blue and green on it can do whatever they like.
What about, it's a Nike one, bro. What is this? I got up my drip hair, innit? I got up my drip hair, innit?
What's in the pocket?
It's a Nike one still. Is it not?
All right, answer the question, because we got to go.
The question. What was the question? Oh, I need a job.
Oh, no, the comment, sorry. He said something about you needing a job.
I need a job.
You lazy.
Basically, what happened was, I'm gonna go quick. It's 11 years. What happened was, I grafted 6. Yeah, went crazy. Didn't take a day off. Sold 13,000 of them hats on your head.
I've got one.
Bought a house with it, and then started relaxing.
Bro, this ain't Stephen Bartlett's show, bro. What you doing?
All right, like, comment, share, make sure you subscribe. God bless everyone. Arsenal are going to win the league because Rodri's not here. Big shout out, Mala Hussein. Thank you, my guy. Can you come more often, please? You selfish man.
Welcome back to the kickoff. It's me and the lads. We're a little bit late after just a little thing at Wembley. Don't worry about it. It's fine. We are back, and it's Arsenal versus Manchester City, the draw. Jacob is here with us. He says he's ready to talk about it. We're going to get straight into the game. Arsenal didn't take the lead first. Man City did, Jacob. What were you going through as Haaland goes through on goals so easily? You guys were cut open really easily. Was that like the worst fears come to life immediately?
PTSD flashbacks of the season before last. We went there season before last. I don't know if you remember, it was April time, end of April. It was the first year that we were challenging for the league, and De Bruyne just fucking slotted one straight away. I think that game finished 3-1 in the end. We had Rob Holding in defence getting spun for 90 minutes. And yeah, come out and send a message. And the best thing that happened is after they scored their goal, we went, fuck this. We're not your whipping boys anymore. We've not come here to get a pat on the head and for Pep to come out afterwards and say, they're so good, so good, Arsenal, they're so good. We're not here for that anymore. And you saw that from the first whistle. First whistle, do you remember what happened? Kai Havertz just went fucking through Rodri.
Straight in, yeah.
Kai Havertz went, fuck this, I'm going through you. And this is what your afternoon's going to look like.
Speaking of which, Rodri got injured. I've got to go to the Chelsea boys as well, because this is a huge impact in the season. And I know for a fact, Joey and Josh are sat there thinking, we might have a sneaky fucking chance this season, right? So, no, admit it, you fuckers. Admit it.
Shove the gun there.
No, for a fact they do. So, when Rodri, we all know the impact this man has on the Premier League, right? He's one of the most important players that City have ever had. What is everyone's thoughts about them losing him for the season? That's massive.
I think it's massive because you've got to factor in, not only are they losing Rodri, at the moment they're without Kevin De Bruyne. It's not a long-term injury like he had last season, but if we're going on the injury form, there's going to be some sort of suggestion that maybe he might pick up an injury in there. And then when you look at the midfield reinforcement, oh my God, it's brilliant, but it's not Man City levels of brilliant. You know, the boy Nunes that they brought in from Wolves, he's hardly lit the world up. And although Pep Guardiola has a really good trait of being able to bring players who maybe we didn't have massively high hopes for or think were world beaters, like potentially even the job that Mateo Kovacic is doing in there, I do think they'll massively suffer. Now, they went on what was it? Was it a 74, 75 game unbeaten streak when they had Rodri in the team? And obviously, as I found out last weekend, all good things must come to an end. But what I would say is if you look at the percentage, right? If you look at the percentage, their win percentage over the course of Rodri's duration at Manchester City is 74% when he's been in the team. When Rodri has not been in the team, that win percentage is 64%. And 10%, I get 10% isn't like a mind-blowing amount. It doesn't sound like a lot. But 10% for Man City, who win week in, week out and are a dominant team in the Premier League, that 10% could be the difference maker between a league title, because we've seen the margins are so small between them and Arsenal in the last few seasons.
Bearing in mind, there was 2 points between these two. 10% is enough.
There you go.
Let's be real, lads. Let's talk about this free kick that was taken too quickly. Josh, I'm going to go to you. You're a big believer in the rule book. Was this? You know what I'm saying. Was this out of order, or was it fair?
I am slightly concerned about the standard of refereeing generally, and I don't like to be that guy that gets on the backs of the referees, because I do think they generally have quite a difficult job, and I think we always state the referees, and it's actually quite fun just to do it. But I do think Mike Oliver in this game, I think he did have kind of a stinker. And we'll go into various other decisions, but let's talk about this one in particular. You do have to, when the captain comes and speaks to you, there is a sort of a rule, not a sort of, a bit of etiquette there to say that the captain has to be able to run back. And Walker was certainly not in his position. So I do think it's very harsh. He was complaining still to the referee when he was running backwards. And again, that's another one of those things that your manager gets sick of, because it's just like, just get into your position and play. And then obviously they score the goal. So yeah, to be honest with you, I did think it was harsh.
That goal, though, what a strike, mate. What were you thinking when that went in, Jacob?
I wasn't thinking. I was running around my fucking kitchen, mate. I was running up and down the Holloway Road. I was losing my mind. Bear in mind, this is a new signing on his debut at the Etihad to just slot that in the top corner. And by the way, the fucking Muppets I had on commentary, I had Danny Mills on my commentary talking about how that was a cross. There was no one in the box to cross it to. Like what? Also, like the Kyle Walker thing, I wasn't in position. Saka wasn't in position. He didn't just call one player over. He called Saka and Walker over. They started complaining about the ball not being where the foul was taken. Do you know why the ball wasn't where the foul was taken? Because it was where Bernardo dragged it to. Bernardo picked up the ball after the foul and ran away with it. No yellow card there. No yellow card for Doku either. No yellow card for Szoboszlai last week when it was Michael Oliver reffing that game as well.
Good. Let the game go. I like it.
It's just
Let the game flow.
And for all Kyle Walker's bitching and whinging, do you know who's not whinging? Do you know who thought it was fair enough? Pep Guardiola. So if Pep's saying, no, we should have just played on, then Kyle Walker can shut up.
What about the players surrounding the referee? There was a few moments in this game where it did make me feel like, fuck me, this is actually entertaining for a change. Like, this is developing into a really bitter rivalry. I'm excited for a change. But do we hate to see that, or do we not mind it, the surrounding the referee?
We fucking love it. Exactly as you say, Brian. What have we wanted? This sterile shit that we've had with City in this league for years. City Pool, the little fucking bromance they had going on when they were competing for titles. Like, we're English football fans. We are English football fans. We are meat and potatoes, Brexit ball, English football fans. I want players around the referee. I want mad challenges. I want people being snide, kicking the ball away. Like, there's all this refereeing shit. It's like they misunderstand what the Premier League is supposed to be. The Premier League is supposed to be blood and thunder, madness. We still talk about Vieira and Roy Keane rivalry from over 20 years ago because we love it. Do you know one of my favourite games of football of the last 10 years? Battle of the Bridge, Chelsea versus Spurs.
Yeah.
Two teams I fucking hate. 2016, 8 years ago, I still talk about it.
You know why? You want... Like, ironically, we just went to that big fight, but some of these games in the past used to have a big fight feel to them. Like, I used to be genuinely, like, counting the hours down for games like this between the top two sides. That feels like a distant memory now because, as you say, the sterile nature of the Premier League for so long. And this really made me think, like, it's actually a throwback, this game, and I love that about it. What were you going to say, Josh?
45 minutes of that game was a throwback. Yeah. And I've seen so much Arsenal are boring, Arsenal low offside block. Please do not blame Arsenal for that when the referee did that for no fucking reason, by the way.
Yeah,
I know we're not talking about that incident.
Can I tell you why it needs to be a throwback, though, right? Because when you look at these games, now, with the margin of error that I spoke about, these are the games where the titles are decided, by the way. Because let's say last season, for example, right? Arsenal got a win over Manchester City. Congratulations. It took them nearly 10 years and 15 attempts in the Premier League, but they did manage to get a win over Manchester City. In the game that they drew, had you have gone on and won that game, and you know what? You had your chances to do so. Had you have gone on and won that game, you'd have finished level on points with Manchester City. Now, as I say, these margins of error are so small that when the top teams, when the Arsenal, Liverpool, Cities face each other, they need to avoid draws. They need to be taking points off one another, because what City do is City don't really lose games that they're not supposed to lose. So I think they lost 3 games last season, right? Arsenal lost 5 games last season. The season before that, when they ran City really close, they again lost more games and drew more games than Manchester City. So at this point in that game, as much as you can say, you know, like the referee ruined it for Arsenal a little bit, and you know, it's still a good point, it's always a good point, I very much would be happy to come away from a game against Manchester City with a point. I believe that the only way that Arsenal go and win this league is if they are taking maximum points off of Manchester City. Because the one thing I will say here, right, is, lads, I think we can all agree, when does City hit their best form? January, they hit their best form. So even when you go on from that, if you look at the last 10 games of this Premier League season, right, mate, in the last 10 games, City only face 3 teams that finished in the top 10 of the Premier League last season, and only 1 team they face finished inside the top 4.
Just looking at Jacob's face, yeah, as he's delivering the news.
Jacob, stay with me here. Stay with me here, Jacob. In Arsenal's final 10 games,
I know.
They've got to play Man United away. They've got to play Chelsea, who are absolutely rampant in the league at the minute. You've got to play Liverpool away, and you've got to play Newcastle.
Ooh.
Cheers, Joey. I was feeling good this morning.
We'll move on to the goal, because Gabriel, he is becoming the Michael Jordan of the Premier League. This guy leaps and no one can get near him. And what was really cool on Match of the Day, when Shearer was breaking it down, they do a side-by-side of how identical the setups are to get these goals, to show it isn't a fluke, to show that the runners, the blockers, everything is so tactically nailed down that, I mean, what do you make of that, Josh? Just to see the process that they have managed to get in place to make this so guaranteed goals out of this.
I heard a lot of people sort of describing it in sort of like American football terms, with sort of like set plays and sort of the practice that goes into it. And it absolutely is right. And I have to say, talking about referee performances, like, I do think that Arsenal do get this right in terms of the level of blocking, because you've seen it in the past where people have, you know, held players back, clear and obvious fouls, you know, the Cucurella pulling of the hair, you know, that's what this reminds me of, you know. But here it's all absolutely fine, absolutely legal. The thing that I cannot understand, and we have to talk about this, is that Man City, for all of the amazing management that they say they have, with the best team, the best coaches in the world, they're putting Jeremy Doku on Gabriel, first of all, and then they're putting Kyle Walker, who quite frankly has a nervous breakdown after this, and sort of has a, you know, walks back to the centre circle and says, it's my fault. And it's like, yeah, we all know it's your fault, mate. You lost your man. Like, you know, it's quite clear.
He wasn't talking about the game. I think he was talking about his personal life.
Yeah, he was.
I think the way that City and a lot of teams do this, the way City try and defend those set pieces, it's a mixture of zonal and man marking, right?
Yeah.
So they've got players like Walker and Doku, as you mentioned, with the corner that we took 10 minutes prior to that, where Gabriel gets a free header again. They use those players to kind of block the runners, and then they've got 4 or 5 players around the 6-yard box who are there to try and head the ball away. The thing is, like Brian says, we're kind of unstoppable with this stuff now, and it's a mixture of things. First of all, no defender has scored more goals in the last 2 years than Gabriel, right? At some point, you have to say, I know we've got this set-piece coach. This guy's just fucking great at attacking the box and heading the ball. The other thing you have to say, Bukayo Saka, mate, the amount of assists he gets from corners, the whip he gets on that ball, It's almost unstoppable. There's so much credit being given to Nicolas Jover, our set-piece coach, and credit to him because he's changed the way we score goals. But credit to the players, and credit to Arteta, by the way, who brought in the set-piece coach, who, as a 30-something-year-old manager, the youngest manager in the league, was willing to say, you know what, I'm not the master, I don't know everything, I'm willing to outsource knowledge to other people, I'm willing to be humble enough to say, I'll bring other people in. You listened to Ange Postecoglou last week going, no, it's below me, mate, I don't care about set-pieces, did we do? Whereas we'll just say, no, fuck it. We'll get an expert. What I love with Arteta, as an Arsenal fan who grew up under Wenger, it felt like under Wenger, set-piece goals, that's for Stoke, that's for Burnley. We don't do that. We're too good for that. We just like nice football. Arteta's going, no, fuck it. I'm up against the best team in the world. I will not leave any stone uncovered in my search to get the extra goals, the extra points that are going to bring us our first league title in 20 years.
So you're talking about the offensive side of set pieces there. What did you think about your defending with set pieces? Because that looked like something off the training ground, the goal that Manchester City equalised with at the end, and to be able to have a man go to the ball without anyone on him in the 93rd minute.
I was gutted, mate, but I think I watch it back. Our players have done 3 away games in 7 days. They've done Atalanta, they've done a North London derby, which is physically exhausting. If I was going to be a prick about these things, I could say that was scored in the 99th minute of the game, and there was no reason for that amount of stoppage time to be given.
Was that what it was, the 99th?
It was the 99th, yeah, it was 98 and something, and he hadn't announced that amount of extra time. But look, I'm not going to get into the weeds of that. Someone should have gone
time wasting on your part, Jacob. Bit of time wasting on your part probably adds to that, to be honest. If we're being honest.
Well, I'll be honest with you. So someone on Twitter said that. Someone on Twitter said Arsenal were wasting time. Opta came out. The ball was in play in the second half for 35 minutes. That's longer than any other 45 minutes of football.
I don't think people on Twitter would lie.
Opta doesn't. Listen, statistics don't give a shit about people's narrative. The ball was in play for longer in that second half than any other half of football this season, so it's bollocks the time.
How do you feel about this? So basically, for everyone's context here, the PGMOL have had some complaints recently about the dark arts in which Arsenal have employed in the last season or so. How do you feel about that complaint? Apparently several Premier League teams have complained about it.
Has a Premier League winning team ever won without dark arts?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, you're Chelsea supporters. You created that fucking dark arts, didn't you?
There you go.
You want to talk about our dirty tactics? I can give you 115 dirty tactics that City have employed in the last few years.
And now, a word from our sponsors. If you want to improve your nutrition, your workouts, your sleep, or your stress management, I need to tell you about Lumen. You see, this little thing is the world's first handheld metabolic coach. I know, it's mental what they can make these days. So how it works is I wake up in the morning, I breathe into this little device, and it gives me an immediate reading of whether I'm burning fats or carbs. Then the Lumen will give me a personalized nutrition plan for that day based on my measurements. And the reason it's so good is it completely understands how your personal metabolism is working. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach. And make no mistake about it, your metabolism is at the center of everything you do. Whether it be weight management, energy levels, fitness, sleep, your metabolism is connected to all of that. And when it comes to your pre- and post-workout fueling, Lumen's recommendations are there to help you add your muscle mass on, if that's what your goal is, your performance and your recovery. So you inhale for 4 seconds, hold your breath for 10 seconds, and then exhale for 6 seconds, and then you get your results, just like this. So as you can see here, as quick as that, we've got a full nutrition plan just from a breath. I mean, that does make life easy. And if you don't want to fall into the trap of putting in all that hard work in the gym but not getting the results because you're missing important information, then Lumen could be a complete game changer for you. And if you do want to go to the next level, you can click the link in the description below and go to lumen.me/true and you'll get 15% off your Lumen. And thanks to them for sponsoring this episode, but for now, enjoy the video. The young lad for Arsenal was actually on the bench, was booked because allegedly he said something about wasting time to the was it one of the Arsenal players. Is that right?
I
Was
think,
it Raya?
yeah, well, it was Lewis Skelly. Yeah, it was mouthing off. I mean, yellow card before a professional debut. Fucking legend.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move on to the actual sending off of Trossard. What's the crack there? Because the first one, he was pulling him, yellow card. It seemed needless given the position of the pitch that Manchester City were in at the time. Then he puts the challenge in, kicks the ball away. What do you lads make of that? Can I actually start with the Chelsea lads? Because impartiality here, what do you make of it?
Go on, I'll let you go with this one.
Was it
Josh.
sending off?
So I think the reason why it was a sending off isn't actually the act that he kicks it away by itself. I think you've got to look at the entire incident. For me, it was the fact that there was a foul in which he was on a yellow card. The foul was not a yellow card, but very close to a yellow card. And then there was an element after that, which is petulant. But the thing is, and this is why I do sympathise with Arsenal fans, and God, I don't usually do this very often, but I understand that, that isn't the way that the rules are written. And so this is what I was saying earlier on about Michael Oliver and the weird decisions that were going throughout this game, a game that has so much importance, and a referee that's meant to be one of the best referees in the world. And I just, honestly, I don't see that with English referees in general at the moment. But you do have to say, it shouldn't add up to those sort of things. But saying that, the letter of the law is, if you kick the ball away, you're going to get that yellow card. And if it's a second yellow, you get sent off.
I've got a question, because for me, the timing of how far after what you do, so he puts the shoulder charge in, and then he puts it away quite quickly after. You've got to give time for the referee's whistle to have been blown to have a little bit of time between that and then kick it away for it to be clear as day that he hasn't heard. We've seen players not have heard things, or they're in the moment, they're reacting. They're full of, adrenaline and a lot of crowd noise. There has to be a little more time between the whistle being blown for me and the ball being kicked away to be like, oh yeah, that was definitely petulance, or he wasn't going to do that anyway.
And do you know when we speak about injustice here, right? Yeah. When we speak about injustice, look, I don't feel it. I'm not an Arsenal fan. I haven't got a horse in the race, but I can completely sympathise, because the context is we're coming off the back of the Declan Rice one, right? I thought that was really, really harsh. I thought it was really, really harsh for Declan Rice to be sent off there. But when we speak about this specific fixture, I remember we watched it last year. I'm pretty sure we watched it round the kickoff table. And I want to put my neck on the line. Was it Kovacic? Was it Kovacic last year? Don't you remember? There was a very, very similar situation. He didn't get sent off in that match. And then I remember they went to Howard Webb, and Howard Webb was basically saying that Michael Oliver didn't want to have a negative impact on the game by sending Kovacic off.
Yeah.
And it's like,
no consistency.
Look, I know that the rules are changing so often that even the referee committee and whatnot can't keep up with them itself. But it's not about having a positive impact. It's not about having a negative impact. It is about playing by the letter of the law. So
exactly Sorry, Joy, that can I just interrupt me? Because that brings me on to a point of, Newcastle have had issues earlier this season with sendings off. And a lot of these referees, as you've just perfectly said, operate between common sense and the letter of the law, and all of them are flipping between it, even sometimes within the game. So, whatever mood they're in, whatever vibe they're feeling, if a player said something to them, whatever. And what we really need to do is just be the letter of the law, but change the fucking rules. In a game like this, for me, I never want to see a great game like this ruined and one team put to a significant disadvantage unless it's something serious, like dangerous tackling, for example, something where it's a deliberate, really nasty challenge. Come on, man, a little bit of petulance. Of course there's petulance. Everyone's emotional. Haaland was being a prick. Everyone was being a prick. I find this ridiculous that a game of this importance has such a huge impact on it from something as nothing as kicking a ball away like that. It's amazing.
Can I just jump in?
But you know when you say about kicking a ball away there, right? We already know that the introduction of VAR has hindered the match times ridiculously. Like, I am sometimes getting away from Stamford Bridge 40 minutes later than I thought I'd be getting away from Stamford Bridge, or at least I would rugby back in the days before VAR. It's slowing the games down ridiculously. So then I think with the introduction of that, you then look at the other things that can hypothetically slow a game right down. And I understand, look, there's challenges that were made in the early 2000s that, you know, people might have got the first one for free because it was early on in the game and you wouldn't have even got a booking. Now those challenges would be red cards. I understand the way has gone, and I think with the introduction of more and more games and having to protect players, that might be something that you can't really budge on. But things like dissent, things like kicking the ball away, such, as you put it, Brian, petulant things, you just have to think, mate, come on, where's the common sense? It's a physical sport.
Jacob? Can I get it? I need to nip this in the bud. He wasn't kicking the ball away. If you watch it back, Martinelli is in. He's not trying to kick the ball away. Kyle Walker's gone forward. Martinelli's in front of the halfway line. He's trying to feed Martinelli. That point of the game, go back and watch it. We weren't trying to waste time. We were closer to scoring than they were. We had them on the fucking ropes. We didn't want the half-time whistle. We weren't trying to... It wasn't petulance. And John Cross in the mirror has come out and said this. The Trossard said in the dressing room, A, I didn't hear the whistle, and B, I wasn't trying to kick the ball away. I was trying to find Martinelli. The whole thing is just so fucking... Like Brian hits the nail on the head there. This is Super Sunday. This is top versus second. This is 1 billion people worldwide watching the Premier League. And I'll say it as an Arsenal fan, the last few times these teams have met each other, it's been shit. People like me sit on Twitter going, it was a chess match, it was tactical. It was fucking boring. It was like watching paint dry. This was everything we want. This was fire. When's the last time you remember a team going 1-0 down at the Etihad and not rolling over and having their tummies tickled and coming back and scoring 2 goals in the space of half an hour? This was everything we want. This should have been set up for one of the best second halves we've watched in years. And a referee ruins it. And let me just quickly say now, he had an out. He had a really easy out. He could have blown his whistle. The City players would have got around him. They might have appealed for a yellow card. You know what he could have done? He could have looked at his watch. It was 46. He could have gone into the dressing room. He could have said to Trossard, fucking calm down. He could have said to the City players, calm down. We go into the dressing room and we come out and we have the best 45 minutes you could see.
You know,
no one would... And I'm going to say now, by the way, he didn't card Szoboszlai last week for Liverpool when he kicked the ball away. I don't want him to. He didn't card Doku. I don't want him to. This game was good because every single player on that pitch was just fucking going for it. They weren't thinking, they were just acting. They were doing what they've done for 15 years in professional football. Trossard has been a professional footballer for 15 years, and for 15 years, the right thing to do in that situation is to find your winger who's in on goal. What he wasn't doing was thinking about rules that created 6 weeks ago that no one asked for. And I want footballers in every game, not just Arsenal games, I want every footballer in the Premier League playing on instinct, playing at 100 miles an hour and giving us a spectacle. I don't want players slowing down the game to think about rules that these fucking idiots created 6 weeks ago that no one cares about.
And it's funny, right? Because you spoke there about the gravity of the game, right? And we did a little boxing show the other day. 97,000. Yeah, not a big deal. 97,000 people in the arena.
98, mate. I must correct you. 98.
98,000 people. But listen, we're not going to go on about it. But what I would say is, I remember Brian on the night basically saying when Anthony Joshua was getting dropped, right? And he was saying this needs to end basically with one man or another splattered on the canvas, because the occasion of this, there can't be any soft refereeing. You need to understand and contextualize the occasion of what you're playing there. So exactly what you're saying there, Jacob, in terms of this isn't Arsenal against Southampton, no offence to Southampton. This is a clash that, albeit early in the season, is going to have a monumental effect on where the title lands in May next year. And in those sort of games, I truly do believe that you need to have a referee who understands that, right, we're not going to give a foul for every single opportunity here, and we're going to try and let the game go on as much as possible. And I do feel like the referees nowadays, they're just wanting to take centre stage too much.
Exactly, mate. Exactly that. And it's the problem we've done. We've given Howard Webber fucking... Sorry, Brian, I know you want to get in, but I'm raging.
Sorry. Just to move on, right, because we do have to talk about the final goal. You've already described the defending. We've seen what Arsenal have been going through, 3 away games in the space of a week. It's ridiculous. You're down to 10 men. You're defending against the greatest team in football. Emotionally, Jacob, when that final goal went in, what was that like for you, pal?
It felt like we'd lost 5-0. And the mad thing is, before this game, honestly, no Ødegaard going into it.
You would have taken a draw.
I'd bite your hand off.
You did lose 5-0 at the Etihad 2 seasons ago, didn't you?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, sorry.
Bring that up.
Brainstorm.
Okay, Haaland. Full time, Erling Haaland. He's going off. Now, on the one hand, I kind of like that he's being a prick, and I love that it made it feel more real. The rivalry, the aggression, the anger. But he was acting like a prick. So, what do you lot make of that?
I love it. I've got to be honest, I love it. I can't sit here as an Arsenal fan and watch Ben White shithouse people week in, week out and go, "That's funny, Ben White." And then when someone else do it, complain. This is what we want. I want a rivalry. I want what it used to be, where it was United against us and Neville didn't dare look around in the tunnel because Vieira looked like he wanted to fucking strangle him. Like, we play them 1st of September at the Emirates. You are all sticking that in your calendar right now. Because that's fucking box office. The way this has been set up now.
You mean you said 1st of September? You mean 1st of...
Sorry, 1st of February. 1st of February.
Can I ask you, Jacob, and there's been a bit of speculation online about this, because obviously Arsenal have been pushing Man City, but this is the first time we've seen City look genuinely rattled, is the word that's been used. Like, City validated Arsenal in this game as their equal, in my opinion. They really were like... We're actually a bit scared of you now. And I felt like this was the first time where I've seen City in a long time treat a team with that level of fear and right, you are actually on our level here. Did that come across to you?
100%. And I think what it is now, and I think this is the subtle difference between Arteta and Pep, because we've all done this thing of thinking that Arteta is just Pep 2.0. And in many ways he is. There's a lot of tactical similarities. The thing where he's gone a bit different, Arteta, is we're a very physical team. And I think you saw that on the day. The reason they're getting rattled is because Savinho gets pushed around by Calafiori. It's because in the middle of the pitch, we've got Rice and Havertz battering Bernardo Silva. And I think that's the thing now. I think especially players like Haaland, he's having to step up and take a physical responsibility, because he's looking around and he's going, shit, these guys are all 6'3". They're all 6'4".
He's got a team full of footballers, Haaland, around him, whereas he's a beast, isn't he?
These guys aren't just trying to copy our tiki-taka anymore. They're not trying to pass better than us. And we turn up at the Etihad and they just little brother us. They just pat us on the head. They ruffle Zinchenko's cheeks and they go, Pep afterwards, oh, they're so good. And then they just walk away with 3 points and another league title. They're like, oh, shit, they've come and kicked us. They've come and pushed us. Yeah, they're a fight. And the thing is, they can play better football than anyone. They can outscore anyone with that monster up front. I don't know if they can outfight us. Genuinely, I don't know if they can. And I think that's what's rattled them.
What about the Chelsea boys? What do you make, lads? Do you think that they're rattled?
For me, right, I'm looking at it now, and I think if they didn't get that equaliser away, they had the injury to Rodri, I feel that the season would have been considerably different to what it is now. Like, I do think we're still going to get a title race, which is ultimately what we want. I think if that hadn't happened and Arsenal had won, I actually think it would have been more of a procession than we're expecting, especially because we've got this looming decision over us that where we could see points deduction. So let alone Arsenal actually winning the thing. If City do get the points deduction, I think it obviously it's not.
But psychologically, though, Joy, do you think there's a sense from City of we're in trouble here or we're in a real battle here?
Nah. Not if I'm being honest.
Completely confident?
Not if I'm being honest, because right. Let me answer that more specifically. Is there a sense of it? Yes, this is sport. This is high level sport. Pep Guardiola has competed at the highest level of the sport and won at the highest level of the sport. And you don't get a manager who's done that without that sense of urgency to be able to be the best. However, Is it heightened in comparison to seasons gone by? No, I wouldn't say it is. You look at Erling Haaland, right, for example, his first season in the Premier League absolutely lit it up, was phenomenal. Then you look at his second season, still phenomenal. Maybe didn't hit the highest of heights that he did, but still by a landslide, top goal scorer and whatnot. Now look at him this season. Look at the way he has started this season. He didn't go to any international tournaments over the summer. He's come back in. Now, we all know Erling Haaland scores goals, but have a look at the goals he's scoring this season. Was it the match against West Ham, was it? When he scored the hat-trick? I mean, he's scored about 10 hat-tricks already this season. But have a look at the types of goals he's scoring this season. So when Erling Haaland first came into that Manchester City team, I think that albeit a brilliant Man City team, it's not going to be as hard as maybe another team, but there had to be somewhat of a rebuild and a readjustment process to all of a sudden you've gone from changing or playing, I should say, with an interchangeable front line, everyone's getting the goals, getting the assists, to all of a sudden you've got a target man in there that you've got to go with. And then in the next season you saw Alvarez playing off the back of him. There was, I'm not going to say there was crossed wires, but this is the season now, and it sounds mad with the amount of goals he's already scored. This is the season now where I would be shocked if I look at the results at the end of any match day and Haaland hasn't got on the score sheet. And I honestly believe that the goals that he's going to put up this season are going to break records. He's going to be able to drive them to that title. Pep Guardiola's looking at it and he's knowing he's got his man there to be able to do it. And despite the injuries to the likes of Rodri, and obviously he had injuries last season, Kevin De Bruyne, I honestly do just still think they've got enough. I think that when you put a player into that Manchester City team, they naturally level up because of the environment and the ability around them. So do I think he's rattled in any way? No. Do I think he understands the significance of finally having that rival that can push him right to the end like he did with Liverpool a few seasons ago? Yeah, I do think he has that. But I think Man City are still just going to have enough.
Well, for me, though, to go back on that, though, like, I do think they're conceding a lot more goals than they were. Like, if you look at the teams that they're conceding goals to this season so far, they conceded to Ipswich, West Ham, Brentford at home. They've just obviously conceded 2 to Arsenal, which is probably the toughest game they're going to get this season. They couldn't score against Inter. They conceded in the Community Shield against Man United, who we're seeing right now floundering in mid-table.
And that's with Rodri.
Yeah, that's with Rodri.
Yeah.
So the fact that we're saying, oh yeah, Haaland's dominant, Haaland will score goals. Yeah, Haaland's going to score goals. But I tell you what, more than any season that we've seen in the last 5 years, I think City are going to get a few results that you don't expect. There are going to be a few draws in there. And I do think there'll be a couple more losses as well.
The issue
that's all it takes.
The beauty of having a Haaland, like years gone by when we had Thierry Henry and Van Nistelrooy, Shearer, these, like, you can play shit and he'll just dig you out of it.
Yeah.
But if he does have an off game, or God forbid, he does pick up a knock and he misses a few games, even just a few games, that could massively alter the course of the season. Look, lads, I've fucking loved this chat, by the way. I really love breaking this down with you. I think we've done enough for the day. We'll be back next week. Hopefully Newcastle will be playing a bit better.
We haven't talked about that yet. We will do a video next week for everyone wanting to see that one.
I've got fucking terrible this season, lads.
Clash
It's been
of the
awful.
Titans. I'm going to Chelsea against Barrow. We do a bit on that if you want.
Who have you got for that one then, Joey? Who'd you fancy?
You know what? There's a lot of good Barrow players, man. I like that. I like the ones that kick the balls. I like the ones that head the balls. I like the one in the goal that saves the ball.
Okay. We'll wrap it up there. Don't forget, if you haven't already, subscribe to the Kickoff YouTube channel. Hit the like button, and we'll see you on the next one.
I mean, we've spoken about the game, we were live for the game, a wonderful spectacle of football. I think people have been a bit snide about Arsenal. I enjoyed the game, I enjoyed the tactical fight, I enjoyed the way Arsenal set up. I thought it was a great game of football. It doesn't always have to be open, expansive football for me to enjoy it. But the biggest thing of the day is actually the Rodri news, isn't it?
Huge. Yeah, it's bad, man. And the last 10 games without Rodri, there's 5 wins in 10. It's 50% win rate. It's even worse when you stretch out since he even joined the club. So basically, we basically don't even draw games. We either lose or win games to a 50% ratio when he's not playing.
But if you know those records, sometimes those records can be misleading. Sometimes
Messi or
maybe you
Ronaldo.
missed
Messi.
games towards the end of the season when you'd already won, or maybe you were resting player. Or is that record? It's games where you've needed. It's games where you've needed to win that you haven't won when he's not in the team.
The win in the last 10 since 2023, the wins where he wasn't featured against League Cup opposition, Championship opposition, with all due respect. But I'm talking about when he's suspended, when he's had minor injuries in the Premier League. We can't buy a win when he's not on the side. It's very, very concerning. The issue is, as a City fan, it's a little bit greedy because you can just throw in Bernardo Silva, Ilkay Gundogan, Rico Lewis. I think the debate really is, does it make us favourites for the Champions League anymore? I think it's a big
Does it
title
make
that
you favourites for the league? Hang on, actually,
That's
before
the
you
big-
answer that, Booth, Spencer, you don't have a dog in the fight. We kind of know where Miles and Booth would probably sit on it. With the Rodri news, with everything you know about Arsenal and Manchester City's impeccable record, changed your opinions on who wins the league off the back of the Rodri news?
Well, I mean, I actually did predict Arsenal to win the league before the season started, but now I think if you're an Arsenal fan, even though that goal that stopped you getting the win on the weekend would have hurt, I do think that you've got to have a massive bit of belief now, and Arteta's got to really use it to sort of get that changing room going that we are going to win the league. And it's not nice to think, oh, we're only going to win it because Rodri's injured, but it's just life. You know, Arsenal, how many big injuries have Arsenal had over the years that have affected their season?
Of course.
City have probably only got... You know, I'd say Rodri's more important than Haaland, actually. Maybe they've got no Alvarez this year, so their firepower... Because when Haaland's been out of the team before, they've had Alvarez stepping in. Maybe you could argue Haaland would be a bigger miss now than he was last year. But for me, what happens with Rodri now is it's for the first time he's going to have an extended absence from the team. So when he's missed games before, it's been one game here or there. So you have to find a new way of playing when he's such a big part of that midfield.
Yeah.
Now, Pep, who's obviously a smart guy, he's going to go, right, maybe the problem is when Rodri's not there, we can't have someone else do the Rodri role. So we're going to reinvent the way we play again.
Yeah.
He's done time and time again. And we're not going to have a Rodri role. And we're going to have a Gundogan in there with John Stones stepping in or whatever it is he does, Rico Lewis. So I don't think it's as simple as saying their percentages about Rodri aren't good. It's Pep Guardiola here.
But
who'd heard of Pep? Who'd heard of Rodri?
Do you know what though, Spence? When you listen to Boovies talk about it there, and he like flippantly, quickly just said some names, like without giving it too much thought. But none of them can do what Rodri does. Like not even close. Like it's not. Everyone knows how much I rate Bernardo Silva. It's not that he's not a good player, but he doesn't do the same thing of Rodri. There's no physicality. There's no presence. He's a beautiful footballer, one of the best in the league, one of the best in the world, in fact. But it's incomparable to Rodri. Ilkay Gundogan, again, marvellous footballer, but incomparable to the role.
Still in midfield there. If you gave Pep Guardiola the Man City squad from scratch and he didn't have Rodri in there, he'd still look at it and go, I think I can win the league with that squad. Yeah, maybe you say it's missing a sort of archetypal...
Do they not
older
get bullied in midfield? Simple as that.
But they'll play differently, I think. He'll just find a different way.
Keep more of the ball. That's a
This is where he earns his mustard. This is what he does.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he goes, right, is that even a phrase, earns his mustard? I think I invented it, maybe. But this is what he does. I'm not saying I think City will still do it. I think it's the best chance Arsenal have had in years. They've got to now drive forward. I know Odegaard's out for a little bit, but they haven't got that same big player missing.
Do you think you win the league now?
I think we've got more of a chance of winning the league now. Even when they did have Rodri, I still thought we still have a good chance of winning it. But obviously now him being out is a big blow for Man City, and it's a gain for not even just Arsenal, probably Liverpool as well. They're probably looking at it from a side eye thinking, we could probably sneak in there. I do agree with Boofy when it comes to the Champions League front. Someone like Rodri, you need all your players for the Champions League, the top players, obviously to win it. You've won it once, you've won it twice. You guys know how hard it is to win that competition. When it comes to the Premier League now, I still think they've got enough to compete. I still think without Rodri, they're still better than most teams in the league. And I still think they're going to pick up most points.
Do you know why I think it's put you in real pole position? Similar to Spencer, I predicted Arsenal through this season as well. But the reason I think that you're now just should win the league, in fact, I would put the pressure on you and say you should, is because without Rodri, I feel like the points accumulation that you will need to win the league has dropped. So if Man City were to win the league with Rodri, let's pretend that they finish the season on 93 points. Now Rodri isn't in the team. I think that the tally that you will need to win the league from an Arsenal perspective would have therefore been 94, which may have been beyond you. I think that Rodri's injury could cost Man City 5 points, which means that your tally to win the league will be 90, which is very much within your grasp. You hit 89 last year.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But at the same time, we was only 2 points behind them last season, and they had Rodri. So I feel like we've gotten not stronger, but we've added to our midfield and we've added to our defence. So we're going to be harder to break down, as Man City witnessed us just on the weekend. They struggled against a 10-man team.
Have I oversimplified that? You know my point there about the points tallies. What do you think?
Bro, come on. What
No, I think the City side could definitely get 94, 95 without Rodri if the right system's in place. It's going to be hard, of course, but we won back-to-back Premier League titles without a striker before Erling Haaland got brought in to replace Aguero.
You didn't have a challenger the level of Arsenal then.
We had Liverpool. We had Liverpool, and I think Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp for 7 years were far ahead of where this Arsenal side are in terms of belief.
It wasn't the same Liverpool though.
But they're a side that believed they could beat us. They certainly smashed us at Anfield multiple times. Came to the Etihad and tried to win the game. I think this Arsenal side, I don't see the belief in the. I don't see the belief in the game.
I don't see the belief in this Man City, bro.
2 hours later, it feels like a lot
Man
for Arsenal
City's
still.
terrible.
I know Rodri
compared to last season.
I don't know. I think
before
Liverpool's the great shout. I think Liverpool will be thinking we can actually usurp Arsenal and be the challengers to Man City's title this season.
So you don't think with Rodri being out and the result, what just happened on the weekend, you don't think, okay, Arsenal's got a good chance of winning this? You honestly believe that?
Slightly better, yeah. Slightly better, yeah. But it's for Arsenal to take.
Can you put a percentage on it?
I think it's probably the same. I think it's probably the same because
it hasn't moved the needle for you at all. The Rodri injury.
No, the gap between us and we still have a gap between Arsenal. I think is still roughly the same. I don't think they surpass us massively.
I don't think we surpass you, but I think even when we had Rodri there, we was just thereabouts anyway. Now that Rodri's not there, I think that we're there. We're very there.
Booth, what did you think about Erling Haaland's message to Mikel Arteta about being humble?
Oh, good.
I loved it. And all the fans on Twitter, all the journalists saying he should have been maybe sent off retroactively or for the ball thing in the back of Gabriel's head.
They're very different. I was going to come on to that. They're very different. I know they're very different.
I know they're different behaviours. I'm saying his general kind of behaviour throughout the game. I think it's exactly what the Premier League needs. A little bit of not bullying, but a little bit of needle. Exactly, a little bit of passion. And I think the Premier League's been sterilised a little bit recently, and we overanalyse all these decisions. I think Haaland showed why he's the greatest striker in the world. He's this massive 6'5" Norwegian striker banging in goals. I think at points he did bully Arsenal.
No, he didn't bully Arsenal. He did bully
Arsenal.
But you know what the thing? He didn't bully us. The only thing, he had one opportunity and scored. Didn't bully us. He did nothing.
He bodied a couple of your lads.
You know he didn't bully
bodied a couple of your lads.
And the reason why he did react like that, Rory, is because they know there's a rivalry now. This Arsenal team is not a pushover.
I agree.
And everyone else could see it. Man City fans, you're going to do what you have to do to think to yourself, they're still Arsenal. They haven't won anything, rightfully so. We haven't won anything. So we're still going to little boy them. But you know in your heart, Booth, I've been telling you for months, that this Arsenal team is here to stay.
I'm just talking about what I saw on the football.
And the players know it
We're
as well.
sat around a desk in London. I mean, it's completely not connected to what happened in the game. In the game, Arteta's mouthing off all game. Arteta rocks up to people at the end of the game, walks onto the pitch. He rocks up to Erling Haaland and he stops speaking. It's very symbolic, I think.
Symbolic for what? I think it's symbolic that Haaland says to him,
Arteta
humble. Because he knows, okay,
and
cool.
And then he sees 6'5" Haaland, and I didn't hear him say a single word until he ran off back into the changing room.
Do you know, interesting? I thought Erling Haaland.
Where was Haaland against 6'5" Gabriel and Saliba?
He scored it 8 minutes in.
The only thing I thought Erling Haaland did wrong, right? This is the only thing I thought he did wrong. I had no issue with launching the ball into the back of Gabriel's head. People do have a hump with that. I had no issue with that.
I don't care for it, but it's not
off the ball.
It's rubbish.
I think though,
shouldn't do it.
You do that. If you're going to do that, you do that when you've just taken the lead. You don't do it when you just equalised. I know it's a massive goal, and it's like last minute, the second of the game, pretty much. But for me, it's like he should be running to the centre circle with the ball.
Yes.
No, it was so over when it was 98 minutes.
I know.
So late.
Well, he didn't kick off like that. Remember when the game kicked off, he went straight. He still believed there was something there for him.
Yeah.
So I think get your 3-2 winner, then you have a bit of fun with it. But you're celebrating a draw at home, right?
I think launching the ball, I don't mind, right? Saying to Lewis Skelly, who are you? I don't really mind that either.
Nah, that's terrible, man.
That's terrible.
You're rattled. They're rattled.
You're the one who seems rattled.
You would never.
The only thing you should have done, in my opinion,
you would never see Frank Lampard go to a kid on the sideline, even when they're in the title challenge, win all these titles.
He went up to Jurgen Klopp and said, "Who the F are you?" It's just no one would disrespect Lampard like that. Who's this Skelly kid?
What did he say to him?
He's a random kid without a photo on FIFA at the moment. He hasn't even got a photo.
And Skelly,
seriously.
But if you're a top class accident, you just look at these guys and think, "What's this guy on?"
Listen, I think
you don't ask him who are you.
If you gave the Lampard example, Jurgen Klopp was mouthing off at Lampard, and Lampard was saying the same to him because he hadn't won a Premier League title at the same time.
No, Lampard said to him, "You've won one Premier League title, and you give it to the big
Oh, exactly. Yes.
You've won one Premier League title, and you give it to the big one." Yeah. But with the Lewis Skelly, I think again, I've got no issue with Skelly having a pop at Haaland.
Yeah,
no issue with that. But then I've got no issue with Haaland going, "Who are you?" The one thing I think Haaland misjudged was the disrespect to Arteta.
100%.
That's the one. I don't have a problem with the Gabriel ball. I don't have a
Is it not
problem.
linked though? Like, and I like Haaland, and I think I think in general he does carry himself really well in his interviews and things. But I don't think you can be saying in one hand stay humble and then going to a kid, who are you? You're not showing much humility there yourself, are you? You know what I mean?
No.
It's a level of frustration. It's frustration. He's frustrated.
But he's not initiating it. If he goes up to him, you're bang on. If he initiates it, all these Arsenal players and managers were mouthing off. Skelly's the first Premier League player in history to get a booking before even making his debut. That's how much of a mouth off he is.
He still came on and put in a good performance.
Yeah,
so it doesn't matter.
But he got a yellow card before doing anything, which says a lot about this Arsenal side. That's some of the biggest time wasters the Premier League's ever seen. The biggest.
We're not going to do that.
But you are the biggest time wasters, the most gobby football fans of all time.
How many times have you seen your goalkeeper time waste? And we see
you've done it to a record level, by the way.
A lot of Man City's expertise over the years has been counterbalanced by these tactical fouls.
Yeah,
that Pep's been so good at.
Fernandinho.
It's the game.
I don't remember any of that. I don't know.
The fact that you know what I love though. I love the fact that he's moaning about time wasting and all these little fouls at his ground when we was 10 men down. When we had 10 men.
Yeah, but you were wasting.
You're nitpicking. You should just won the game. You should just won.
Time wasting is a problem in football. It's an entertainment problem. They're trying to counteract it with these these longer injury times they're playing. They play 7 minutes. You score in the 7th minute, so you can't really complain about it.
I don't mind. Like, we're above Arsenal on the table. It's for Arsenal to catch up, and they've not won in a long time against City at the Etihad.
It's so tricky. Can I just get your final thoughts on this, Boovie? Man City's midfield in your next Premier League game that you have to win. You drop points in the last game, at home you win your next game, right? Put the record straight. Back to winning ways. What's the midfield?
Ilkay Gundogan and Rico Lewis.
That's not good enough.
It is, but this is the point. This is why I said the Champions League point. You're right what you said about the Champions League. Against Real Madrid, that will get found out, of course. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to be too cocky about that. Against Brentford, Nottingham Forest, West Ham at home, with all due respect, these kind of sides. Most sides that rock
Newcastle away next.
Newcastle's hard.
What about that?
Of course it is.
That's a tough.
Newcastle away. So you think the midfield will be Gundogan, Lewis?
Yeah, with Kyle Walker in behind. That's what I'd like.
I don't think Lewis is. I don't think you put Lewis in there. Not
is
against
John
that
Stones an option?
He's played all season in midfield, so there's a good chance
Not
he'll
against
play in
Newcastle though. That midfield is too strong. Joe Linton, they've got somebody. They've got Bruno G in there. He's good enough. Don't get me wrong.
But who else is it then? I don't. Mateus Nunes can't play that deep in my opinion.
You got Kovacic. Why don't you put him? You got Kovacic.
Okay, I'm being biased. I don't want Kovacic starting the game, but that's just me.
Yeah,
I think what Spencer said in terms of Guardiola finding a solution, I hope it isn't Kovacic necessarily, and putting all of our eggs in the Kovacic basket and hoping that Gundogan we can do something with Rico Lewis.
Do you know what my issue with? Obviously, I want you to win the league. I think you'll win the league, but I want you to win the league. Do you know what my issue is with the midfield that you seem to favour? And you and I kind of go back on this a lot. There's no physicality.
No,
I know that Gundogan's a brilliant player. You know how much I love Bernardo Silva. Rico Lewis, sensational. There's just no presence.
Yeah.
And sometimes in football, what you need, you just need Michael Ballack to beat someone up.
That's where John Stones could come into it,
Yes,
as he has done before.
He's fit.
Without Rodri, maybe he feels that he needs a John Stones in there. And
Can he start there though? Because
is he a good enough footballer? Is he actually a good enough footballer to play this isn't moving into midfield. This is being a midfielder.
He won't play DM. He won't start as a DM. He'll float in there potentially. John Stones, the injury record is a little bit troubling. So I wouldn't see that one as an option. Rico Lewis just moves the ball tight. If you can't get the ball off us, it doesn't matter how tall you are. So I think Guardiola will revert back to more of a possession-based, less physical kind of setup, hopefully. And maybe that means Haaland doesn't play as much.
I was just about to say, does that
a false
nullify
nine? Foden is a false nine. And you play 6 small, diminutive lads that will nick the ball around. That's what I think could happen as well.
Listen, if there's any manager that can figure out, it's Pep Guardiola.
Exactly.
We all know that.
That's a game. I'll tell you what, that game is going to be fascinating to watch.
Against Newcastle?
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. That's a physical team.
Game
that whole team's physical.
Hope so.
So do I.
Yeah, it's the first. It's 12.
No,
It's 12:30. It's 12:30 kickoff. It's the first game on Saturday morning.
It'll be interesting as well if we do see City drop points a little bit over the next few months. Will he go into the window in January and say, right, I need to go and buy a Rodri, 2.0, because he's not going to be, well, by all accounts, he's going to be out for a while.
Yeah, it would depend. If they're 2 points behind Arsenal by the time the January transfer window opens, you could see it, couldn't you?
Recall Calvin Phillips.
Not that.
How many times have we seen City be more than 2 points off and then just turn it on? You know, they're going to do that again, and they might even have Rodri for the run-in, maybe.
No, he's definitely out all season.
He's not going to make it.
Arsenal needs to be 10 points clear by January to have a chance.
10 points clear.
No, they need to be. They do for their own belief.
We don't even
They need to double bank it. Most sides, Ferguson would need 4 or 5 points. Mourinho would need 2 points. This Arsenal side needs 15 points.
Don't make you guys
like Spence said,
Mourinho
that
need
result,
2
even
points.
though we didn't get the win, and if we got the win,
Chatting
it would have been
shit,
downright
dude.
for the team, would have been amazing. But we
I think it's
just know
stuck
10 men at Man City and you did nothing.
Well, we got a last
we just
minute
know
draw,
Arsenal fans
and now we're
know.
above you in the table still.
Arsenal fans know it's 5 games into the season. We just went away to Tottenham. We went away to
If
Villa.
the Premier
we went
League
away to
ended
you.
now,
3 away games in
If
the
the Premier League ended right now,
and we're only
you
2
wouldn't win
points
the
behind.
Premier League title.
Okay, 5 games in.
I can't give you a
Hello
pass.
everyone, FPL Raptor here and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. In today's video we have my Game Week 6 team selection where I could be doing anything from rolling the free transfer to playing my wild card. If you do enjoy today's video, please do smash that like button. If you're new around here, make sure to subscribe as well. Without further ado, let's jump into it.
Dude, why'd you give it to me so fast?
So guys, let's do it. Let's jump into my Game Week 6 team selection. And I did just want to make a comment because I've done a bit of self-reflecting around my FPL management and also my strategy at the moment. And for some of you, you literally won't care. You're just clicking on to see my team. So there'll be timestamps down below to the goalkeepers, defenders, midfielders, forwards, transfer plans, all of that lovely stuff. So if you're not interested in this first little bit, which will hopefully only be a couple of minutes, please feel free to skip along. But if you are following me on this journey, you guys will know I've not had a particularly good start to the season. I'm ranked at 3.5 million. I commented on the last couple of videos that I feel a bit lost with FPL. And so I decided to reflect, like, what is it for me that brings enjoyment with FPL? Well, first, it's the content creation, but I also realized that my enjoyment isn't intrinsically linked to my rank. There have been so many times in the past where I've had an absolutely brilliant rank. I think, not last season, the season before that, I spent basically the entire season inside the top 10k. I wouldn't say I necessarily enjoyed the game much more. I loved, again, creating videos for you guys because that's my favorite part of it. But the game itself, I wouldn't say I enjoyed much more. There's pressure associated with it. And I know last season, when I was ranked at about, I think it was 3.2 million after game week 8, I then went on that really nice run, but I was still ranked around like 1,800,000, which for a content creator probably isn't a great rank. But that was arguably the most enjoyment I've ever had from the game. So I don't think my enjoyment for FPL is intrinsically linked to my rank. I think what brings me enjoyment in FPL is the manner in which I make my decisions. And I think recently, across the entirety of this season, I've been making decisions in such a timid way. I'm like tiptoeing around FPL and I'm being like, oh, I'm not sure if I should do this because what if someone comments this, or I'm not sure if I should make this transfer because it could backfire. That's not me. Like, you guys that have been watching my videos for so long, the one thing I can say about myself is I'm an incredibly confident decision maker in every aspect of my life, but also in FPL. I make decisions with like conviction, and I've lost that recently, and I hate that. And so I'm going to get back to that. I'm not saying that I'll make decisions blindly and I won't reflect in trying to improve my decision making, but I need to make decisions with a bit more confidence and conviction because I trust my own intuition, I trust my own decision making, and it won't always go well. But if you get into that manner where I make the decisions I'm happy with, I trust it, I'm confident with it, you tend to enjoy the game a little bit more. And so I want to stop tiptoeing around as much. And I'm not saying I don't want to ask for your guys' opinions, but I'm asking for your opinions so much, and I'm genuinely like wanting help with my team. And as much as I'd love the help that you guys provide me, and please do comment down below what you would do with my team. I always appreciate it. I need to be a little bit more confident and own my decisions. And after having that reflection, I had this like, I feel rejuvenated around FPL. Like, I really want to just approach the upcoming game weeks, and I'm feeling really happy again and excited for game week 6 and beyond because I'm making decisions that I'm happy with. So not everyone will be happy with my decisions this week, I can guarantee that. But in the most polite way to all the haters out there, I don't care. And to those of you that support me regardless, I appreciate you. So that's how I feel right now. And like I said, I feel a bit more excited and a bit more confident, and that's what I need. I'm not saying it will result in green arrows. I'm not saying I'll necessarily recover my rank straight away, but it's definitely the way that you should approach FPL. And by the way, before I do now move on to my team, not just for content creators, I promise you, well, not promise you, I can almost guarantee you will enjoy the game more if you make the decisions that you want to make with conviction and confidence, because that's what FPL is all about. So here is my team for game week 6. I'm going to go through it in its entirety without having made a transfer, discuss the possibility of rolling, discuss the possibility of making transfers, 1, 2, 3 even, and also the possibility of using a wildcard. Now, again, I would love to know what you think about that down below, but I will be the one that makes the decisions and owns those decisions as well. So, in goal, I currently have Henderson. One of those where, again, by the way, I should just know, I probably will wildcard next week if I don't wildcard this week. So you can look at Henderson and say he's got Liverpool next week. Just get rid of him. Look to bring in a better goalkeeper. And yeah, I probably will. But for this week alone, it's not an awful fixture. I will just note that Everton, for everything they've been defensively, which is not very good, they have been pretty good going forward. And so I probably expect Everton to score here, especially considering it's at Goodison Park. But Henderson has been making a few more saves in recent games, and you just never know. So I don't necessarily mind having Henderson here against Everton away. It's not a fixture I look at and I desperately don't want to play him, but longer term, absolutely. I will be probably wildcarding over the next few weeks. Could even be this week, and I won't be having him on my wildcard. But this week alone doesn't feel awful if I need to have him. So Henderson will be staying for now, and fingers crossed he can pull out a 9-pointer like he did last week. The back three at the moment is Porro, Gabriel, Trent. So I've got all three of my premiums starting. I've got a little bit of fear around benching premiums because I've obviously benched Gabriel 2 weeks in a row for 2 goals against a lot of people's advice, but it was 2 difficult-ish away fixtures, and I didn't expect clean sheets. That proved to be the case, but he's gone and got 2 goals as well. And also, I remember when I benched Porro a few weeks ago for Newcastle, it felt awful because the man is just so attacking. So I've got a little bit of fear about benching those premium defenders, especially with the goal threat and assist threat that all three of them have. I will start with Gabriel. I don't expect him to keep scoring. In fact, I don't expect him to score this week in 3 games in a row. That would be ridiculous, considering last year he scored 3 goals in the entire season. And the season before that, he scored 3 goals in the entire season. The season before that, he did get 5, but you're looking at a guy that will probably score a goal every 13 games based on what we have seen so far across his Arsenal career, maybe 10 games maximum. So for him to get 2 goals in 2 weeks is very unlucky if you benched him or didn't own him, and we're probably not expecting that to continue at that rate. However, Arsenal do appear to even more so be aiming for Gabriel. They're almost setting up, if you've not watched the games and you've just seen the fact that he scored, the rest of the Arsenal players are much closer to the goal, like inside and around the 6-yard box. And Gabriel, especially against City and Spurs also, was standing almost on like the penalty spot and just running. And Saka's whipping in the ball and Gabriel is just attacking it with such speed. So if that continues, maybe he'll get more like 6, 7, 8 goals this season. And so as a result, I do think Gabriel's a great pick. I'm obviously not going to bench him this week. And fingers crossed, now that I actually have him in my 11, he can go and get me another goal across the next few games. So really happy to have Gabriel. Trent is a player I'm delighted to have too. After the Wolves game, I don't really love the fixtures from a defensive perspective in terms of clean sheets, but I do think that Liverpool have been defending incredibly well now. 4 clean sheets. He's had the attacking return. He's got the assist threat. He's got a bit of goal threat as well, Trent. I can't see myself going without Trent on a wildcard. And I say that now, maybe due to my poor team value, I might struggle. But he just feels like a midfielder with the additional bonus of a clean sheet. He's getting forward that much and his attacking threat is that high. And you still expect a brilliant defence like Liverpool to keep clean sheets in difficult fixtures. No, I don't think particularly that a clean sheet against Chelsea, Arsenal, or Brighton is particularly likely, given how good the 3 teams are that they're facing from an attacking perspective. But I equally don't think it's impossible, especially in those bigger games like an Arsenal. You could see there being a clean sheet for one of the 2 teams. So Trent will probably be staying for me for the foreseeable future. And at the very least this week, when a lot of people are wildcarding and they might be having to go for the likes of Robertson, if I can keep Trent in my team, it feels like a massive advantage there. So Gabriel and Trent very happy with. Pedro Porro, I am very happy to play in this game. I'll actually be at Old Trafford, courtesy of tickets from Manchester United, which sounds crazy to say, but I'll be at this game watching Spurs versus Manchester United. And I don't actually own any Man United players, so it's nice to at least have an FPL player in that game, although I'll be hoping that he concedes from a personal perspective. But again, with Porro, it's not really the clean sheets that you own him for because Spurs don't really do clean sheets. I will just say Spurs' defence has been a lot better than people are giving them credit for. Not only this season, but last season, the defensive data was quite good. Vicario, I don't know what to make of him. Sometimes I look at Vicario and think you're one of the best keepers in the league, and then sometimes I think, what on earth are you doing? He's got this hesitancy that De Gea had when he first joined Man United, where it's just a bit chaotic. But generally, I don't expect a clean sheet in this game. Do I expect an attacking return? Not necessarily expect, but I think there's a possibility. And my other options are using a transfer, which feels like a bit of a waste at the moment. If I wildcard, I probably wouldn't start him. I might not even have him. Or I just play Robinson on my bench against Forest. But Forest have been attacking fairly well. And so I'm not sure that I necessarily think a clean sheet is that much more likely for Robinson than it is for Porro. And then when I look at attacking threat, yeah, they've both got attacking threat, but Porro's probably got slightly greater attacking threat. So I'd love to know in the comments who would you start out of Porro and Robinson, but I'm feeling confident at the moment that I want to start Porro. I don't think there's much in it. I just have a bit more of a feeling about Porro getting an attacking return, especially against the United defence that, in all honesty, the parts of the pitch where we are at our weakest is in those defensive midfield roles. And I can just see Porro in that pocket between like a Dallo and if it's an Ugarte that starts. I can just see him finding a lot of space in that role. As a Man United fan, that's where I can envision us struggling a little bit. So for me, Porro's likely to be starting, but there is the temptation to start Robinson. And then I have Greaves, who I shouldn't be needing this week against Villa. So that's the goalkeeper and defence situation. No transfers planned at the moment. I'm pretty happy with it. Let's move on to the midfield. So guys, moving on to the midfield, and I'm actually, believe it or not, quite happy with it, despite what some people might think. So there are players here that, again, longer term, you probably don't want to have. I can point to 2 of them that I think a lot of people would look to move on very soon, maybe even 3 or 4. But for this week alone, considering if I don't wildcard this week, it would be next week, it's difficult to argue that they've got bad fixtures or that they are bad assets to have. So I'll start with Mohamed Salah. Obviously, if I don't look to wildcard this week, I will have Salah and not Haaland. And people will look at that and say, you are bonkers. Newcastle are arguably weaker defensively than Wolves. They've just shipped 3 goals to Fulham. Haaland is a better asset than Salah. All of that stuff rings true, by the way. And I agree. If I had the choice this week, I would rather have Haaland than Salah. And you can say, well, then why wouldn't you wildcard? When I'm ranked 3.5 million, and when I'm also looking for ways to just differentiate slightly, I don't think Salah is a significantly poorer option this week than Haaland for the armband. And not only are most people not going to be captaining Salah, I would say his ownership is going to be almost halved amongst engaged managers, because if you're wildcarding this week, which so many are, because basically I think every other content creator bar maybe one are obviously wildcarding, and a lot of people follow their advice. No one's going to have Salah, I don't think, because it's so difficult to squeeze him in on a wildcard. I think his ownership is going to be at an all-time low for this season. And he's playing against a Wolves defence that have been not only shipping goals, but they've now lost Mosquera for the season. And we know that Madueke at Molineux scored a hat-trick because they are so weak defensively, especially on that side. I just feel like this is a very good game for Salah. He didn't start against West Ham midweek. He came off the bench and got a goal. I am perfectly happy having a differential Salah captain, and it might not pay off. Again, it could be that Haaland scores a hat-trick, Salah blanks, and my rank drops from 3.5 mil to 5.5 mil, 6 mil. If it does, well, then the climb from where I'm starting is just going to be a bit of a bigger climb, and I'm happy to accept that. But I can't, in my right mind, not captain Salah against Wolves away as a bit of a differential. Like, it feels crazy to me that he's going to be that. So I'm actually really excited by that, and fingers crossed he can either match Haaland or potentially outscore him, which I know is quite unlikely. So Salah's absolutely fine this week. I do think, again, if I was wildcarding, I would lose him, which is one of the things that is stopping me from wanting to wildcard, because in my head, wildcarding out Salah against Wolves away, as well as maybe even Trent against Wolves away, it doesn't sit right with me. And another player that I now don't feel completely great if I were to wildcard out or even transfer out, because this was my planned transfer out, is Diogo Jota. So he completes my Liverpool triple up. And I think lots of people on wildcard might have only one, potentially even maybe less for some people, Liverpool assets given their fixtures. But Jota started against West Ham midweek in the Carabao Cup, as did Darwin, as did Gakpo. And obviously Diaz was on the bench along with Salah. So Diaz and Salah look extremely likely to start in game week 6. And when I saw Jota start, I was like, I don't know what to make of this, because he's starting in the number 10 role, so he's not starting as the forward. And Darwin is. So immediately I thought that's not great that Darwin started as the 9 and Jota's playing in the role that Szoboszlai would usually play. However, Jota put in a brilliant performance, scored 2 goals, both of which were taken very well, and then he came off in the 59th minute. So he's got a brace and come off in the 59th minute. Darwin has played 90 minutes, he's had 0 shots in the entire game and only 1 assist. So I think, based on the fact that not even that he didn't score goals, Darwin, but based on the fact that Darwin has started 2 games in a row, played 90 minutes midweek, Jota got 0 minutes at the weekend, played 59 minutes in the Cup. I think that is all pushing towards, as well as getting that brace and taking them very well, I think it's pushing everything towards a Jota start in game week 6. Some people might frame that as Jota's got 0 minutes followed by 59. He's a massive minutes risk. Just sell him. And again, if I was keeping this team long term, I would absolutely be looking to sell Jota. But I just want to delay the wildcard 1 week until game week 7. So holding a Jota that I think will start against Wolves feels like a good idea for me, I think, at the moment. Like, why would I waste a transfer taking out an asset that I think will start with a good fixture? And I think Mosquera being out only leans more towards Jota getting a start. Because I think if Mosquera is playing, he's a very, very, very physical defender. And I'm not saying Wolves don't have other defenders like that, but I feel like Mosquera would have bullied Jota a little bit, and they might have wanted to start someone like a Darwin who's more of a bulldozer up front. But I think Mosquera being out makes Jota an even more likely start for Liverpool from a footballing perspective, and obviously it makes him a stronger FPL option. So I'm not going to continue to justify it because I know a lot of people won't like it, but the reason that I think I'm keeping Jota is based on what we know right now. I think he'll start. If he doesn't start, or if we get news he doesn't, or if I don't think he's likely to, and my opinion on this changes, maybe he becomes a doubt or whatever, then I absolutely will look to sell him. And I'll discuss in the next section some possible replacements for Jota. Just on the rest of the team, I have Bukayo Saka. He did start against Bolton and got reasonable minutes. I don't think he got an attacking return. Maybe he ended up getting like an assist or something. But generally, I'm not too fussed. Saka against Leicester at home is a fantastic player to own. One of the reasons, once again, that I'm not as keen to wildcard this week is I already have an Arsenal attacker and an Arsenal defender in place. I sadly don't have a third Arsenal asset, but the fact that I've got Saka in there feels pretty good to me. So Saka will be staying for me. I don't think I'll be giving him the armband. I just trust Salah a little bit more. I just think Salah is a better FPL asset. I think the fixture is marginally better for Saka because it's at home, but I think that Salah outweighs that by just being a better, more of a goal threat, I suppose, as well as an FPL option. So